You need somebody to set up the snap ult. Doom needs, you know, you don't want to just chase somebody to their base with Scorched Earth, right? Like, you need something to actually stun so that you can do your damage with Doom and Scorched Earth. And yeah, exactly. So the puck makes a lot of sense, and it's like a generic mid laner that you're. This hero doesn't really lose lanes. That it's like even against DK, even against TA, which is banned out. Okay, yeah, it's still fine.
There we go. Now, talk about a success story for this tournament. My boy Lion coming back into that meta hard.
For sure.
My boy. My favorite thing is that nothing really changed. They gave him like a couple buffs with his talents. They gave him that BKB shard, which is that's weird.
It's legit, dude. I'm telling you,
it's legit, but it's just weird.
It's weird.
It's mainly his late game potential got buffed. So the shard, he's not going to get it at 20 minutes, but if it's like, you know, 40 minutes, you got nothing to buy, you got a Philosopher's Stone, might as well get it. Getting HP on the finger means that he doesn't get blown up every single time.
Although people don't go for that talent, actually. I was checking that out. I was thinking, like, is this why people are picking Line? And then I saw that they just go for the Earth Spike cooldown talent anyway. Because they're like, man, if I'm getting gone, I'm dead anyway. But I agree. I mean, I feel like the finger HP plus the magic immunity is like, this guy's so tanky.
I know, right?
How do you kill him?
There you go.
And Vici ends up taking the Willow.
Yeah, that's a coil break, which is really cool. I mean, this is a devastating combo. They have a lot of magic damage right now.
Yeah.
But they do have the Doom and the Puck Ag, so it's not like they're completely reliant on if they get a BKB, we lose. You know, they're fine with the BKB. So as long as they have a little bit of farm.
Certainly versatile. But the big question is, what kind of carry do you pick in this? I mean, it's looking a little bit like you're going to need somebody to be able to weather that storm of that magical onslaught here.
Yeah, so I'm like, I mean, Wraith King would have been perfect, but it's banned out because it's so perfect against these, like, one and done, we're going to press buttons on the ground and then kill you. Ursa seems pretty good as well.
Oh, that's a very good
Oh, never mind, they go for Terrorblade.
Ooh, I don't know about that.
So, the new way people are playing Terrorblade is basically to just get Dragonlance and outrange. You literally just outrange the enemy's like magic nukes, and I mean it works in games. It legitimately works.
I mean, yeah, it'd be pretty hard to be able to, you know, lock down a Terrorblade with this lineup too. If that's what the new meta is this long distance nuker.
Yeah, you have to get on him and actually get a Doom on him amongst all of the illusions, which is a pain.
Man, imagine if there was a carry that did fight from long distance, but he was kind of squishy. Man,
that would be so good.
Wouldn't that be nuts?
And some sort of like high damage nuke that's long range. Damn.
Gives vision and stuff.
I feel like that'd
that.
be a better position for though.
Yeah. What can you do?
Yeah. There's nothing in Dota like.
Anyway, so Terrorblade, I get it. As you said in the meta, hopefully not going to be caught by these wombo combos, but you're up against a Puck, and you get caught in this game.
He feeds.
It is not good.
He feeds if he gets caught, he feeds.
Yeah.
The thing with TB though is people are just hitting ancient camps until they have like Scotty Dragonlance, and then they fight.
Do you think this Puck is going to go for the physical build, or seeing as how now you're going up against a Terrorblade, forget about the Witchblade Deso, maybe go Dagon, something like that?
I actually think the Witchblade Deso would be fine in this game just because there's so much magic damage from the other heroes that I feel like if you need to double down on the magic damage, you're probably doing something wrong. It's more so to hit the buildings because none of these other heroes hit buildings.
Oh,
yeah.
Like Snapfire helps you hit buildings, but Snapfire's not going to be the building damage hero. So if Puck can get the Deso Witchblade, then you can actually kill some towers.
There is actually a lot of pressure on Puck on this game. Like,
yeah, it's a tough.
All these guys are basically, okay, all three of us are going in for a team fight. Puck has to be the split pusher. Puck has to be the team fighter. But Puck, in this lineup, probably has to be the catch, too. So,
Until they get some, like, Doom items, like Doom Blink BKB.
Sure.
And then they get the Centaur. Even that's like a little scuff to execute that. It's much easier just to coil somebody and pop all your ults on them.
Spirit need a Toronto, Tokyo hero now. Leshrac still in the pool. He hasn't played at this tournament, but I'm trying to think of heroes who don't really care about being doomed. And Lesh is one of them. Death Prophet still available also, but not really that popular as a mid laner these days. What?
Well, honestly, that's a pretty fun pickup here. Silence is pretty great. They need some push.
Excuse me?
Oh, okay.
Nani?
So mid Mars, it looks like.
Okay.
That's
a pretty good matchup against Puck.
Yeah, I mean, you've basically the instant cast in God's Rebuke. I don't think you're ever going to dodge that as the Puck.
But why Axe?
10 seconds
Well, their lineup definitely looks a lot better if they're the ones that are starting the fights. If Team Spirit is getting caught, if they're going on them, that looks nearly impossible to win right now. But if you're able to get in there as Axe and grab somebody, those fights do seem much more winnable. But I'm not feeling Axe right now with this meta. I might be crazy, but
I'm not either. No,
yeah.
I think the Shard nerf definitely hurt his like primary sick build that people were doing on him.
Yeah,
Blade Mail's not that good.
His main advantage over other offlaners is Spell Immune, Piercing, Disable, but there's no Jug or Lifestealer, and I feel like Ursa just got that much better for Vici Gaming.
I guess there's an element, too, of this, like, you know, Mars is a hero who relies fairly heavily on the ult. To be fair, it's not the longest cooldown ever at max level, but Axe obviously can fight much more than a Mars can. And
who's his +1? Like, Lion has a long finger cooldown.
Yeah, Phoenix
has Supernova cooldown. And they end up going with a Medusa.
Oof.
Now I've cooled off on Medusa also after the D-nerfs, because I saw Liquid play it, and that gap from level 15 to level 20 feels like an eternity now.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, I'd like to be a kind boy and believe, but I feel like this is a pretty brutal outdraft here. Sorry. I mean, DOTA is looking super, super good. They can start fights with Puck or with anybody else, get a nice pick-off, and then who on Team Spirit is going to be able to wade through that magical damage hell to try to get anywhere near putting damage on DOTA? I mean, they got to get some pretty crazy pickoffs on this Medusa to have any chance of being able to get her, in my opinion.
Wait, so if this is 16%, 18%...
And that's 18. People just don't think anybody's going to win.
Does that mean it's a draw?
Oh, maybe. That would make more sense, actually.
That's interesting.
Some people, no.
That's like
I don't want to watch this game, please. Take it away from my screen.
Take the pole away from me. Gracious.
I'm going with you, Slex. I think that even though Medusa is not as strong as she was in the C patch, she's not afraid of any of this, really. At a certain point, Terrorblade is just going to be too susceptible to all this magic damage, and then Medusa rolls in, snakes it all up.
Yeah, I mean, any typical carry, you know, if you had something like a PA, a Drow, terrifying game. Axe jumps on you, all that stuff, but I mean, she's a tanky lady. That's her whole point, is to tank stuff, so... I don't know, man. Jankies, you're the smart one. What do you think, buddy?
I'm gonna go Spirit.
Wow.
Okay.
Explain.
I think their lanes are better. I think they can fight earlier. I think they can make space for the TB, and I think the late game TB, with the new way people are playing it, will outrange the DOTA and do enough damage to take her down.
New way being, because I saw Artur run a Diffusal.
Yes, that's a nice build.
You think that's gonna happen here?
I think some Diffusal, D-Lance, Scotty sort of build. I think Diffusal is just an OP item.
Okay, let's see how the carries go head-to-head. Game number 1. Take it away, Gary B. and Lacoste.
Hey! It's not Gary P. and Lacoste, it's Cap and Kyle, but that's okay. Tsunami, you're correct. They're over there right now, so if you want to check them out, go ahead and do the WePlay B stream. But of course, here on the A stream, we are talking about Team Spirit. And this matchup, I know, Kyle, you were not a fan of a certain draft there.
No, I'm walking through it. I'm just like clarifying. Yeah, wait, Team Spirit, they did pick Phoenix into Snapfire.
Yeah, they did.
Then they went for the Lion when we've seen multiple teams with a ton of success opening Lion Mars. Like, why not just go for the Lion Mars? It works. Like,
Yep.
You get the mid Mars, the last pick Axe. A lot of focus now on Yatoro to effectively just carry this game by himself. It's certainly possible. I think the Diffusal build will be very effective against Adusa, but the Vici lineup, I mean, this is their bread and butter. Like, this is just team fight, late game. They can play for macro. Their lanes are strong. They've just got everything.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest highlights for them is going to be both this Ori Puck and Old 11 Doom, right?
Yep.
Two different hero player combinations that they have been super successful with. Now, on the Team Spirit side, they do have something that they are very successful with. Toronto Tokyo on an active mid laner. It's going to be the mid Mars, and it also is the most popular and most successful hero of the tournament so far. Mars has been picked 21 times, 76% win rate, Kyle.
Yeah, it's typically, though, off lane.
Yes, way more off lanes, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think mid, it's just real tough. I see Limp go the Yules build quite often, but it's very situational. I personally think that you have to be ahead to go for it. I think Deso's really strong, but more importantly, Mars just kind of needs a lead. It feels a lot like Tiny. You're about finding pickoffs, making plays. If you can't win a game by doing so, you're going to have issues. And in this case, with the Terrorblade, theoretically, the damage problems won't be problems. Phoenix for the team fight. I'm just really concerned about what happens if, like, Doom used to be the VP counter. You know, when that still had Solo and Ramsey saw no one on the squad, they would pick Doom into TB. You Doom the Terrorblade, you win the fight. It's just that simple.
Yeah, that hero is very susceptible to magic damage, very reliant on being able to get off Sunder. And here, if he gets doomed, they've got Puck, they've got Mortimer's Kisses, they've even got the Terrorize to make sure the coil snaps. Like, feels like if they ever catch this TB without a BKB, he's just dead. And that's all to say, without the matchup of the Medusa, who also has options against Terrorblade as well.
Yeah, a mechanic we haven't really seen discussed too much right now is how BKBs are influencing drafting and the meta and decision-making. And China, as a region, I think is ahead of the curve in that regard. It actually might be a...
Maybe Miposhka, if he could stay in front of Old 11, it'd be good, but unfortunately wasn't able to do so. Does manage to get another impale. Maybe Yutaro could still catch up to him. Old 11 has to cut left here to stay ahead of that one shot, but Yutaro is faster than him. Gets one hit in, not quite enough to finish him, but he leaves Miposhka to do the deed himself. First blood for the captain of Team Spirit.
DY chasing. He has the cookie.
Yeah, and he's trying to, Miro was trying to juke it out somehow, but DY very patient. Oh, he spots the courier instead. Kills it. I wonder if it had anything on it. Kind of doubt it. It was probably just sitting there ready to pick up a ring of health for the axe when he had that complete. And as you can see, 700 gold, not yet.
Yep, makes sense. And I'm just thinking about team fights. You know, let's say Terrorblade pops meta, pops BKB, pre-Doom. You still have the Medusa Stone Gaze to potentially disengage, and what'll eventually be an Axe Coil on the Puck. So a lot of different ways. On the side of Team Spirit, you've got the Axe Call, and you've got a ton of stuns, sure, but really limited against BKBs, specifically the old 11 Doom. You know, probably going to see him play the Initiator style, have a blink early, Centaur stomp. He's just going to be all about trying to get onto the back line, Doom key targets. But we'll see. Laning phase, I've seen Mira. I think he has like 1,000 games on Phoenix. It's one of his most played heroes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And with Mars, it can be pretty devastating.
Was it Miro the one who played like Snapfire for the first time in one of the DPC matches? Yeah. That guy is super new to the competitive scene, but very talented. If you guys did not watch any of the Eastern European DPC, Team Spirit was a huge highlight for us, and we were very excited to see how they would do at the Major, because they may be young, but they're very talented, and it feels like they are, alongside with Virtus Pro, the new up-and-comers, and they're just going to take over the Eastern European scene. They're going to be the new legends.
Yep, no, I totally agree. This is, you know, Team Spirit, they're in this tournament as underdogs, but this is the first major for,
nice kill for PYW.
Like the entire team. Miposhka, he's been grinding, you know, long-time stalwart on the Empire stacks, pretty much just Tier 3, Tier 2 Dota for the last couple of years. This is his first foray onto the real international stage. Meanwhile, you know, old 11, he's old. He's been here for a while. Like, he's got TI placements. He's probably got kids. Like this dude's a veteran, a seasoned professional. Ori mid, like come on.
Yeah. This is this whole lineup is pretty much Miposhka as being sort of the veteran, not necessarily an old player, but it is a veteran player, and then everybody else is this is either their first, second, or maybe even third team, but otherwise just a bunch of youngsters who looking to be able to make a name for themselves. And I personally had them as sort of my dark horse for this tournament. Being able to surprise some people, but we'll see. I've been a little disappointed by their performance so far. They managed 1-1 against EG, that was a good sign, but then I think they lost 2-0 against somebody else. I lost it.
Yeah, they also have a lot on the line. You know, the storyline about Nigma, about Vici Gaming is a little more well-known. They did come out of the wild card. They need placements, top 6, top 4 at this tournament in order to advance directly to TI. Spirit still in the running as well. I think they need top 3. That's a long road ahead of them, but don't count them out, because if they find what clicks, might just get their nice coil onto the axe. This is probably going to be a pretty easy kill, as he'll just be forced to stand still, maybe?
Yeah, Collapse did a really good job. He was hidden in the trees, then pops out, managed to get the call. Now, the last bit of magic damage could come from Ori in the next orb and silence, but he has to land it. and they're not actually going to go for it. Instead, maybe they go for the Phoenix. Ori dancing around trying to dodge some of those Fire Spirits hits, but they actually get out a failed rotation for Ori as Collapse. Just a really great read by him. It was Nigma. They lost 2-0 to Nigma.
Who have been looking hot, and they straight up
really
stole the Lion Mars from them. Though it's not as if it's it's known. It's like saying somebody stole TA. Everybody's picking it. Nice juke there from Ori. Again, big concern with Spirit is just their drafting order. Not even as much their drafting. Last picking Axe in this spot is a bit awkward, and it all kind of comes from the fact that when they go for the Phoenix, like Phoenix Mars instead of Lion Mars. The reason people go for the Lion is because you have more versatility in how that support can be utilized, and it frees you up to effectively draft anything, a 4 or a 5, as your other support. Phoenix first, well, now you need your other hero to have some stuns. Otherwise, you get a scenario like Beast Coast did Series 1 yesterday. They've got like Phoenix, Clock, Wyvern. It's like, well, you can't kill AniMajor, and turned out Ame just kind of won the game by himself. This will be a freebie.
Old 11, Brambles, looking to be able to stop it, but ultimately that is a root, and Yutoro just needs to be able to keep swinging to get that kill, and even tips Old 11, hoping to be able to tip the old man of Vici Gaming.
Pretty chill so far.
Yeah.
Expect Vici to kind of play this same methodical Dota they've shown for the last few days. I'm pretty sure they're confident they'll take this in the late game. Doom Medusa is a pretty devastating combination. But I'm looking at Team Spirit. This is a big creep wave for them to make a move off of. Don't know if they're going to be able to. Boy, that's a huge snake, but he's in a little bit of trouble here.
Yeah, he certainly is. Is anybody going to TP in and help him out? PYW's here. DY's about to join in. They do have the Sunray to help keep Collapse alive, as now they realize they have to retreat. Just not the best damage coming out of this duo just yet. They're going to be able to get the coil. This time around, I believe Collapse doesn't have enough, as the magic damage will do the trick.
Does buy boots before he goes down, but man, please, Maposhka, my man, I know you're trying to kill the puck. I really would have loved him to be rotated up top as well.
Sure.
A lot invested into this. However, that's a DD. Yeah, he's securing the tower in a way. The catapult's still barely alive. Toronto, Tokyo.
Yeah, honestly, I think in most scenarios that would have been the right play, but here with the double damage and a siege wagon, they're doing a lot of damage to this mid tower, and he's going to surprise the puck. Might just be able to get a spear off of it. They do. They wait for the impale to come back down. They nail him to the wall, and now they've got this tower for free. This has been a great opportunity for Team Spirit. Well done. Sunray going to burn out PYW most likely, as he doesn't really have anywhere to run to. Even uses the hit to kill a ranged creep.
Yeah, I take back what I said. That's a seasoned move. That was a 4-man rotation top. Ultimately, what did it net Vici? Just to kill on an Axe, who also had already spent all his money. Lost nothing, has the Vanguard. He can run straight back top. They focused on the objective of very early mid tower. This is incredibly critical because now you get this nice vision placed behind mid lane, and in theory, you should be able to deny Poyo the Ancient Triangle, which is where he's going to be moving. You farm through the stacks in your own jungle first, maybe push top. At a point, he'll TP bot and try to take an Ancient stack. If you can deny that, maybe steal it with your Axe, that's a huge acceleration to your game.
It's one of the things that I do love about Dota is these variables can change the game up quite dramatically. DY is probably going to be run down here. Collapse will hit him with the Culling Blade. But yeah, the fact that, like, if it wasn't a DD, then the right move is definitely Maposhka going top. But because they grab a double damage, the entire scenario changes, and the right kind of players will adapt with those variables, as Maposhka did. Yeah,
I was really enjoying the conversation. In the green room, we get both streams, and Aoi, BSJ, and Rich are having a really cool conversation about that kind of thing, where you might win a game and think it was something to do with the hero. Hang on.
Yeah, this is a very dead old 11 as... with the Mars Arena, when you can't go anywhere, Terrorblade's super scary.
Now that's nice. So I believe, he'll stack his own Ancients. He's got a double stack. He popped the meta. So now you use this for farm speed. And they're even keeping their bounty bundle. Remember, every time that those, I think every minute that goes by, that gold you receive ticks up just a little bit. You better get this stack. Ooh, okay.
He does.
All right.
Well done. And yeah, he's just sitting on it. Or he was doing something similar. He let his bounty runes stack up a bit until he grabbed both of them to refill his bottles.
It will be the Dragonlance build. Looks like S&Y is queued up.
What do you think of Aghanims this game? Because they do have the Mars combo, that Terra Wave that comes out. That is one of the really cool combos that you can employ here.
I do kind of like it because then they're also you know, meta is effectively all their damage, and you don't want to be in a position where Vici can either coil or stone gaze disengage and kite out the meta. And it would be nice to have that little backup so that you could take a skirmish without being then forced to hard commit to the fight. And Spirit, they've got themselves a sizable lead.
Yeah, they really do.
Near top of the net worth now are 3K, 7-1, and they make a pretty measured move in allowing this bot tower to die. That was a 5-man rotate, and they're just like, we have no desire to fight there. One of my favorite lessons I learned from Fly way back pre-TI5 was, please don't lose me games by mass DPing to a safe lane tier 1. It is, they will be 5, we will not be 5 in time, and we will teleport in, lose the tower anyway, lose the fight, and then lose the game. Let it go.
Yeah, and that is, I think it's even cooler because I feel like that is now a standard rule. Wasn't back then. That was like the unique knowledge that Tal was able to provide. Now it's standard knowledge, right? But people are still able to do certain things, like BSJ was having a ball with Vici Gaming. They were playing in the dead lane all the time, and it was working for them. What it didn't work for Team Liquid, and it goes to show that these standard rules, they don't always apply. You have to understand the difference. Team Spirit, a little move that they made, was Zamar's going bottom, right? Getting that 1 kill, and then they just let that tower fall.
Peace.
Moposhka says, it's about time to get a Finger of Death stack. I don't have any of those yet.
And they are controlling the top part of the map. You can see Deuces right now farming. Well, he's actually under the, not quite under the mid ward, but it's old 11 up here who's under the hill ward. But the thing that Spirit didn't do is control the Ancient camp, and that's my concern. The top jungle is typically real valuable, but against DOTA, I think it's almost counterproductive because, as you can see, they're just leaving the Deuce on the Ancient hill, and they're going to smoke up and look for a fight as 4.
I like how he was, you know, I in that situation, I would have used my invis and been like, I'm going to break the smoke, you know, but then they drop a sentry, they maybe catch you and kill you. He just says, okay, we know where they're going. I'm not going to take any risks here. As they move up to the top part of the map, he pushes out mid lane, once again, continuing pressure. Now, Vici Gaming feel like, oh god, our tier 2's being hit while we're making this move. This is all very, very awkward. You could see Theotoro right now hiding on the left, hard left-hand side of the map. He's not farming his triangle right now. He's not taking any risks.
Yeah, it's a really nice move, though, from Vici. They lose the smoke, but they did force the entire enemy team back onto their side of the river. Deuce is still free farming, wasn't a part of it. And yes, Yatoro survives, but that is about a minute of time lost. He did play it well, though. You can see the circle drawn. They knew they were going, and he was pushing top with illusions that whole time. So not too much loss, but the game is stabilized. It's 8-1, but you know, Doom has a built-in Midas, thanks to the max Q build. Deuce, again, uncontested. You'll see this little pink dot in the bottom triangle. Every single spawn, the Ancients are dying. You know, it's not as if he's falling off. So if you're Spirit, you got to think about what's our play, what's our objective. And right now, consider Axe and Mars. Don't scale super well. They've got kill threat. They've got blink daggers. They got to use them. Thus the smoke.
See if they can find an opening here. Vici Gaming playing in that jungle area. They're going to be able to get the call. Collapse leading out onto the Doom. Does get bounced off of the wall there thanks to the cookie. And now the Mortimer's Kisses. Oh, they do have the Phoenix egg that's going to explode, but they've already lost their 2 cores. There's no damage to be able to back this up, and the egg still dies.
Oh, Cap, that one hurts. A finger on cooldown for 25 seconds when they entered that engagement. Nice cookie to move the Doom away from the wall. And yeah, the Centaur stop as expected, counter initiates. It's the danger of making these moves. They didn't have the right pincer. Terrorblade not quite there to add his damage, and ultimately the issue with the Spirit lineup, we talked about in the pregame. You need TB in meta, hitting people to actually kill anyone. And if they don't have that, all they're going to find are pickoffs. Certainly not teamfight kills on the tankiest enemy target.
So would you put that on, I'm not going to say Yutoro specifically, but Team Spirit as a whole, they need to involve their Terrorblade in these moves?
Look at where he is. He's all the way by the top Ancient camp. It's just not going to work. And I love how they ignore the egg, they finish the kills, and then they're like, hey, we got time, and pop.
Yeah. Especially with the attack speed that is Dark Willow has. Same goes with the Puck. Pretty good egg hitters. And Poyoyo's like, well, this has been a relaxing game.
Oh, yeah. This is the most chill Deuce game I've seen in some time. 1-0, 135 CS, a little lower than you might typically see at this timing, but he didn't have the easiest game.
Yeah, got pressure early, but then all of a sudden he's just had total free farm to recover. And Vici Gaming now bringing the net worth back to their favor.
I think during the wild card, we brought up a lot about IG's warding. I think if there's anything I'd be pulling from the region and the teams that we've seen play so far, it's the way that they focus on D-warding. IG routinely had 8 or 9 sentries placed at a time, and if you look at the Vici side of the map, look how many D-wards they have active.
Yeah.
It's all about protecting the DOTA, right? Only one of them is across the river. They just want to ensure that there's no way Spirit can set up on their course because they're all about just dragging the game out, slow things down.
Yeah, absolutely.
How many is that? 5? 5 on the top half of the jungle, 3 on the bottom.
And as a result, does feel like things have slowed down dramatically. Team Spirit probably frustrated after that attempted move at the top lane. And
this is great observing because you can see, Spirit, they want to get active. They don't see anyone.
Yeah.
The whole, no wonder they're holding hands. They're playing a little conservatively because for all they know, Vici Gaming are hunting. And another thing that Vici's doing great, they're not showing in lanes.
Yep. Old 11, he's going to show now. Pops his head. Oh, okay, there's a lot of heroes here. Blinks away, still managed to get the call out from Collapse, and the Terror Plate is here this time around. This time around, the Doom is going to die 100-0 real quick. Nobody from Team Spirit takes too much damage either with no Mortimer's Kisses. They do hold the advantage here if they want to keep going for this Tier 2.
Trouble I have is this Mars mid. I like it when you're a core, but he's bought offlane items. The Hood, the Orb, into a Yules. You have 2 offlaners on Team Spirit. If you're going to win this game, Terrorblade, he's top of the net worth chart, but he needs a gap. He needs a substantial lead because it's him. It's him against the world right now.
Yeah. It is. Feels like a bit of a shame they're not able to use that meta and that death timer on the Doom for more than what they got. They back up, they farm some of the neutral creeps on their way out, TP away, push out mid, push out bottom, but ultimately the Medusa is still happy with game state.
Yep. That's a really technical game, and it's even in my days, China as a Dota region has always been top form, They force you to make plays to beat them. And it was always frustrating because I would typically have a more reckless style of strategy and game planning. We were trying to kill them. We'd have lineups like the one Spirit had, but they made it so hard. You never had the vision you took for granted when you played against weaker squads in your own region, and they didn't give you freebies. They're not going to make a move that they don't have an advantage on, like this one. No DOTA, but they're just hunting his 3. They're trying to find a quick pickoff, and more importantly, what are we doing again? DY, placing wards. Even if you don't find a kill with the smoke, you obtain map control and set up for a non-smoke move within the next 5 to 7 minutes.
Mira trying to get away from the Doom here. They actually do find the kill onto Maboshka, while Mira was not doomed. I believe Doom could have actually chosen to pull that trigger, but instead he just kind of forced him out. Still holding on to that big team fight ability for the Terrorblade perhaps in the future. Collapse. They really want to go on the Medusa here, or he's just sitting on the side waiting for something to go down.
DY gets another courier. But they have the control. That smoke set them up. They have total vision control of the area. Switch to Spirit's vision. They see nothing right now. They're surrounded on all sides, and they have no clue.
Yeah. Yeah, they have an idea that they're somewhere over here to the right side of the Tier 1 tower. That's kind of where Poyoyo led off, but he's poking at that Tier 1 bit by bit. Maybe it's not worth the effort, though, as his damage is a little bit weak right now.
Yeah, they don't need it. And they're just like, hey, if Spirit's going to just hang out and threaten a defense here, well,
you know what's missing?
Well.
Team Spirit don't have Roche taking.
That's true.
Not like good Roche taking, right? They only have meta. That's pretty much it.
Yep.
They don't have that way to be like, oh, you're just playing super defensively around Tier 2s. Well, we're going to force you to come out because we're going to do Roche on.
And the way that they're splitting farmer on the map is just fantastic. You see Puck or Willow consistently in the bottom lane, shoving it into tower, now safe as well because of the wards that they've got placed. Poyoyo, well, we don't even need to look at him, honestly. Old 11 has a Midas built in, manufacturing gold. Oh, and he also bought a Midas.
Yeah.
So no wonder he's fighting Terrorblade for the top net worth spot. Like, every minute that goes by, nothing's happened. Vici's got a 3K gold lead all of a sudden. I feel like 5 minutes ago we were talking about Spirit with the lead.
Yeah, probably more like 10 minutes ago, but yeah, they had a 3,000 net worth lead. And again, they're really trying to get Team Spirit to do something. It almost feels like VG Gaming is like, yeah, we're winning this game, but it's getting kind of boring, guys. Maybe you should do something about us.
Yeah, they're going to smoke through nice wards by Spirit, but they won't see anything coming.
Gets the initiation. Centaur Stomp leading off. Mars, the mid-Mars, has already been neutralized and very likely killed here. And you could see Ori's already looking for the next target. He's got Maposhka in the river. Picks him off. 2 down, and Vici Gaming. Let's see if they finally get aggressive during this timer or if they're just going to back off and continue to farm.
Yeah, they use Doom. I don't think you have any need to do anything crazy.
Yeah.
Maybe mid-tower, but you're going to collapse his 5 to do so. That is the move.
Let's see how Team Spirit respond. They still have 20 seconds left for the Mars, so considering the damage that DY can pump out, they're going to lead off with a coil here onto the Phoenix. Now, see if he can actually get off the egg in time. If he does, okay, Centaur Stomp to prevent the Icarus dive. He knew that an egg was going to be quickly dispatched, so he doesn't even try that.
Oh, they popped the meta too, so now it's just time to hightail it out of there.
No.
You got tower, you got Phoenix, get out. And you can see, when Vici commit for these sorts of kills, right, what do they actually commit? What was actually at risk there? You saw Poyoyo perfectly positioned as the centerpiece. If they felt like they were falling behind, boom, he'll pop out, they'll run away.
Yep.
It was old 11 in the front. Everybody else, oh, nice.
2-man call with the Mars here as well. The 2 supports have been caught out on the side of Vici Gaming, and Team Spirit now turning the game around. They were forced, they used the meta. That's a bad idea, but they were like, okay, we have to get something out of this.
Yeah.
They go for Roshan, they find these 2 pink-offs. Now all of a sudden, this is kind of okay for them.
Can they do it? Okay, yeah, they can. Meta's fading. It's a little cautious. I wish they had a medallion. This would be much faster.
Yeah, seriously.
But it looks like Vici will not contest. Well, as we're praising Vici for playing near flawlessly, the 2 supports get picked off D-warding. Really nice play, though, from Collapse. See, they had a ward on that high ground, I believe, and he just straight up got them getting a little...
a little complacent.
Yeah, that's the word. Thank you.
I mean, the fact that 2 supports are standing with each other under...
Yeah.
I feel like that's an always... that's purely about complacency. When you're D-warding, nobody else be under the vision, right? Whoever is going to dispatch with the ward, have that one person go, kill the ward, everybody else stay out of sight.
Yep. That's one of those unwritten rules of Dota 2 that should be written down. I guess more of a commandment. The other, at least... Ooh. Is he dead?
Yeah, maybe. They don't have the arena, but they do have the call, and they've got Finger. That's a level 2 Finger, so this time around Maposhka won't... Oh, never mind. It's a level 1 Finger, so he will have that extremely long cooldown.
He's closing in on Blink, though. Maposhka's actually got some pretty solid net worth. Oh, they take a tier 2 bottom, though, uncontested. Now they're going to chase.
Catch, though. Toronto, Tokyo. He does have the arena now, so he certainly is going to catch somebody out of here, unless Old 11 does manage to get a stun off of the Centaur stun. They have to turn around and do something, but he just didn't get anything off. No arena, no spear, no nothing. Mira, Yule Scepter here is going to dive over to the side. Maybe he's going to pop the egg. Maybe he won't. Either way, he's going to die. That was very awkward.
It's 4 on 5.
Yeah.
It's just, once again, Vici with the vision advantage. They kill the tier 2. Boyo has the Scotty. Old 11, he's just too farmed. Like, you can afford to make mistakes when you have a lineup like this as Vici, because they didn't have Doom for that initial engagement around the Roche pit. Now they do. It's just, he deletes Mars.
Like, they never, like, none of Team Spirit ran in the same direction.
No.
You know? Mars never used any of his abilities. You know, if people are following the Mars in and he arenas and throws a spear at the Medusa, maybe they can just all-in collapse on Poyoyo, and maybe he dies, maybe he doesn't. But at least it's a game plan. There, that was just defragmented chaos.
Vici do not make... They'll make individual mistakes. We just had watched Ori get picked off mid. The 2 supports dying under a D-ward. But when they make moves as a team, you know, look at that bottom area of the map. They had 3 sentries down. They knew they weren't under vision. They knew they'd have the initiation advantage. They stayed on the high ground out of sight, and they get a quick pick on an enemy core. And oh, POW. He's gonna yell, they have a ward there.
I remember this one. DY is sitting outside of the vision, ready to save his support.
Smart men there. Learn from their mistake.
13 to 11. Pretty even kill score, but net worth kind of being anything but. Yes, it is a Doom, so naturally you're going to be ahead, but it's also Medusa lineup, and it's got to feel kind of bad for Team Spirit knowing that they are behind. They've got this pressure on them to try and do something here.
And Toronto Tokyo, he has Hood into BKB, purely defensive. Axe as well, half the net worth of the enemy Doom. Your damage output is just struggling. I feel like Yatoro, if there was a game for a Rapier earlier than you wanted, it would be this one. Because, yeah, Daedalus will be the choice. Oh, God.
Two-man coil to lead things off. Mapochka, he's actually going to snap the coil and kill himself on that one. Toronto Tokyo is going to be the next target, perhaps. Old 11 just jumping in, throws at the Shiva, sees the BKB, and says, okay, we can kind of reset here if we want to. Once again, Vici Gaming feels like they are not under the pressure of making anything happen. And they continue to frustrate Team Spirit. MKB now complete for the Medusa.
Shiva's such a great item here. Not just for the AoE attack speed slow, but the vision it provides. You know, Brian, I think, was talking about how TB, typically you can punch from so far away. It makes Medusa really hard to play with in fights. While Doom, he blinks forward and kind of just zones. Terrorblade, you catch that, can't really stand and fight. You're also threatened by the Doom. Also significantly reduces the damage output of the illusions. Hang on.
They're going to try for Old 11 here. They're going to chain stun him to Terrorize. Going to interrupt at least the Axe, but the damage dealers were Mira on the Phoenix and Toronto Tokyo on the Mars. And it looks like any AoE disables? No, they actually, you could see Ori jumped in to cover him with a silence and made sure that Mapochka, but he is going to be caught. He managed to get the Hex off on him.
That's
I'm not
huge.
sure what happened there, but yeah, he kind of gave... I don't think he was giving up his life.
Nah.
But he definitely assumed that he was going to get out. Mapochka now finishing up that Blink Dagger as a result of that kill.
Now he had to orb when he initiated, and he had to blink silence orb and then phase because he blinked in. So once you do that, you're committed, and that orb has to save you. But against a Lion, he's just waiting there to hex you. You can't silence him at this point in the haste rune. Not enough. Nice line stun from Mapochka. That might actually open the door for a push here. Meta popped. Yeah, they're going to commit 30 seconds on both cores.
All right, Team Spirit hitting a very nice window here with an opportunity to get that kill on Old 11. They find an extra kill on Ori that they probably were not expecting, and this is going to be Lane of Barracks. This is exactly... Oh, never mind. Mortimer's Kisses is going to push him back. They're a little bit scared of that. And now the Doom's back up. Soon the puck will be too, so they have to reset just to Tier 3.
I don't know if that's going to be enough, Cap. Vici, they'll smell blood now. A couple of miscues. Spirit punish well, but now with no meta for 2 minutes, you gotta figure Vici's ready to go.
So what can we explain a little bit before we see some action from Vici Gaming here? Why is it we favor them for the late game?
Just look at the Doom's net worth in comparison to the enemy offlaner. That's that's the whole lead. That's why Vici are ahead. And ultimately, when you're playing against a single core lineup, Doom is king.
Yeah. So basically, the Doom is going to be the antithesis to the Terrorblade, and the Axe is steadily going to be falling off, especially since he didn't go the Manta.
He's just going straight Refresher. This is the game-winning build.
Yeah.
Double BKB, double Shivas, double Doom. Like, if you have all spells up, and my team can delete 2 of your players from the video game, I'm probably going to win.
So it's possible for Team Spirit to be able to win team fights, but unlikely. It's just so much easier for Vici Gaming.
It's about controlling the vision, Cap, and Vici have invested so many resources into doing so. Spirit, they want to take this. They've got to ensure they get fight around their vision. They've got 3 really nice wards now, all centered in the map, but what they're going to need to do is get a smoke move onto, say, the enemy jungle, whether bottom or top, and pounce from the high ground. That's their win condition here, because they need to either kill the Doom or the Puck before they cast a spell. Again, be fearful of the buybacks, but more importantly, have Yatoro in position to immediately pump damage as they initiate.
That was one of the funniest, like, efficiency plays I've seen. Vici Gaming are out hunting, right? And you've got just Mapochka and Toronto Tokyo in the triangle, the last place that Vici Gaming wants to head back to. And they're just like, we're just going to hold here and farm some Ancients.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of a risk to it, but, you know, they didn't die. They had the vision down to be able to see them coming, and as a result, get that much closer to an AC for Toronto Tokyo.
Very big. Now, Roche spawning 30 seconds. If you could finish the AC beforehand, that would be huge. Meanwhile, Old 11 is just straight up buying Refresher when available. No buyback needed. Orbit Destruction for the Deuce, so that's very nice to pick up. DD forced to pop by Toronto Tokyo. 20 seconds on Roche. If they check it, it could be a good timing. Vici's a little out of position.
As soon as Old 11 shows, immediately a TP from Collapse, but Old 11 was so disciplined in his move, he waited for a long time, then popped Shivas and Scorched Earth, and devoured the catapults, and then got out immediately.
So Team Spirit, they've got the gem. They want to hunt away, try and clear out their jungle of wards, but the concern I have is right now, you're opening the door for Vici to do the same, but in the jungle closer to the Roche pit, spawning 20 seconds. Oh, wow, that was the potential spawn, not the spawn time. Now we're actually at 15 to spawn.
Okay, so
it is a quick one.
It is about that time, though, Team Spirit. They can push out this bottom lane stuff, but they do need to play the top half of the map, right?
Yeah, you got to be careful with items like Ceremonial Ropes, because Collapse, once he sees the debuff, he knows the puck's in the area, and he was hunting, and Ori realizes that wisely, gets out.
There's the AC. This is going to be a Shard Roshan, so could be a nice pickup for who would want it in this game?
Yeah, real quick to review, the Shard is already picked up on the Willow. That gives the Bramble spawn on the Curse Crown, lowers the cooldown, and decreases the time to stun. So it's quite nice against these strength heroes like Mars Axe. They can't really move. They just get kited constantly pre-BKB. Phoenix allows you to Sunray while an egg. And I believe Brian explained, Brian didn't know. Effie explained the mechanic that I believe you get a new Sunray during egg, and then another one when the egg explodes. So it's like a double refresh on the abilities.
It's basically that the egg has Sunray.
Yes.
It's like its own thing.
Oh, and they give it a slow. I forget. Shards are so weird. It's just random
casual,
things.
Yeah, it just feels like here's a bunch of little things that all come together.
Yep. The one on TB, though, if Spirit could get it, I think you're right. Like the free terror. Oh, hey, DD. Nahaz somewhere shaking his fist because you know that opens up the Roche pit for Team Spirit.
To be clear, the Aghanim Scepter is the Terror Wave.
True,
where,
thank you.
The Aghanim Shard is the weird Demon Zeal, where he takes some of his HP in order to go faster and attack faster. And it's, I believe, twice as effective for when you're in melee form. Yeah, 100% more bonus while melee. Yeah, it's a weird one.
What is that?
I mean, it's super legit late game. It's super legit, especially if, you know, when you're in melee form and you've got a Scotty.
Oh, this is cool. They're killing off the Scouting Illusion with an illusion, so you didn't see anything now.
Damage. It's going to rip through this so quickly.
Oh my God. It's just dying.
Ooh, Vici Gaming.
It's dying. Old 11, you got to move. He's got
Old
refresher.
11, he's going to come in here, but he's going to realize a bit too late. The Roshan, it's dead. And the items have been picked up at Vici Gaming. They're going to throw out a Terrorize, perhaps. No, they realize they're in a bit of trouble here. They need to try and get out. Or Spike is going to be able to stop PYW from getting out of here, or he's going for the kill on the line. He does manage to get so. Poyo, he's stuck inside the arena right now, and that's neutralized him. He's going to go ahead and pop his BKB and go for the egg. They do manage to kill Mira. He does have a buyback, but no ultimate, so he's not really useful. Meanwhile, the Terrorblade is being run down here. They need to be able to help him out. Old 11's realizing he does. It's really hard. Yotaro, he is going to be scared away by the hit from PYW. He managed to get the Terrorize off into using the Bedlam to be able to finish off Collapse, who popped the Blade Mail. Turn around to Yotaro. Did manage to get off the Sunder onto Poyo, healing himself up. Poyo's out of mana, and he's being ripped asunder by this Terrorblade, but now he no longer has the mana. Is he going to survive purely off of the fact that he's now in melee form? Unbelievable. He gets a cookie away. Ori, meanwhile, is causing chaos inside of the triangle as he tries to get a dieback onto Mira, but a spear intercepts. The Witch's Blade is what finishes him off, and Aeon does manage to allow Ori to survive through the spear and get away. Vici Gaming win the fight outside of the Roshan pit, but still a sneaky maneuver from Team Spirit did net them a good number of rewards.
Wow, that was a really technical fight. Well done by Spirit. They lose the fight, but they could have lost the game had they not made the right decision to turn and fight. Yotaro realizing 11 hasn't doomed me because I'm in meta. Yeah. If I choose to run and lose my first life, I'm going to get doomed on respawn and die again. Instead, he just turns to fight. Yeah, meta's fading, but yeah, Mira, buy back. Everybody, full commit. It's your only hope. If you don't take this fight, you're losing your TB and your Aegis, and that's it, GG, because Vici then, they can start walking down lanes. They're going to get an insurmountable map advantage, whereas now, you still have the Aegis, so you wait a little bit longer, you can go for that next fight. He is going for the Ags, good call, Cap, and he's pretty much maxed out. No room for anything else. Paladin sword for the free lifesteal. You could see that was a very long carry battle between the TB and the DOTA.
One thing that I'm missing out of Team Spirit is that really good-looking synergy of like, here's the egg, here's this Terrorblade fighting, you know, close by, and here's the arena to protect all of it. You know, like I didn't see that in the team fight. It felt like egg was way over in one direction, Terrorblade was another.
And this is the, I believe, Suns fan-approved top 5 shard in game. They gave it to the Mars, double spear. You can spear 2 targets. So all of a sudden, an Axe double taunt into an arena double spear, like that's just 2 cores dead because Yatoro's at a point where he hits really goddamn hard.
Also, better chance to catch illusion heroes is always nice. I always like it against Phantom Lancer for that reason. They're going to lead off. He's got the mana, but now that he's been doomed up, he turns around and does what damage he can, but he is dead.
He has Axe, so they can pop it again, but old 11, he's waiting in the wings.
Are they going to be surprised by this Terror Wave? They're going to throw out the Terrorize, but the Terror Wave comes out first. Poyo did manage to get off his BKB, though. The Sunray is keeping Yatoro alive right now.
He needs the
Sunder. The Stone Gaze, the Silence as well. They've got everything to be able to control the Terror Blade. He doesn't get off his ultimate, and now the rest of Team Spirit, realizing they don't have anything left, they're going to go ahead and throw down a Doom to make sure that this Mars isn't getting out. And Miposhka, nice TP away by him. But you could see as soon as the Terrorblade is dead, everything's lost for Team Spirit.
Yeah, it's just Doom. Old 11 single-handedly winning the fight. Doom the meta. He BKBs, you get off the Terror Wave, but then, you know, there's no BKB, so they just blow the rest of the spells. He even had an extra Doom. Refresher had come up mid-fight. That's what he uses to interrupt the TP in Toronto, Tokyo. And Team Spirit, they're just kind of left.
Whoa, Old 11.
Hands.
Hey now.
But he's alone.
You're very alone. Okay. Kyle, what is it about us and casting these games?
I have no idea.
People winning a fight and then just running off by themselves. What? Why?
I do not know, Cap, but
that's an Old 11 special, you know? He's been playing his mind out of this game, and, you know, that just has a simple feed. Well, then at least they'll get Miposhka out of this situation, it's looking like, as the Curse Crown and,
dude, the talents for Willow level 15 Curse Crown AoE, it's been so effective. I feel like it just turns into a triple stun.
Yeah.
Lasts longer, too, of course, with the level 10. And I really like Poyo. So Deuces, a lot of the time I see skip MKB for too long. He gets it here. 1, level 25 talent, modifiers, you get the procs. But in addition, a lot of people forget that Terrorblade has a 16% evasion talent at level 10.
Yes.
So you have to buy an MKB as an anti-carry, because if not, the butterfly becomes just straight up game winning. The evasion gets to like 40% and you're just like, oh, well, what do I do now? Like, you need the MKB. Rapier no longer providing True Strike, so it is a necessary ingredient in a DOTA kit, and I respect the fact that Poyo recognizes it. Is Ori getting closer to his Aghanims? Is that what he's thinking about? Aeon Disc.
Okay.
What did he just finish? Okay. More spells, more silences. Definitely more effective against the support duo. Probably realizing, what am I saying? Why would he need to worry about a Terrorblade BKB? They're dooming him. He doesn't have one.
Yep.
He just wants to kill the supports.
Yeah, exactly. Which means that Team Spirit, it's so important for them to get the initiation. So important, in fact, that I don't know if they can ever be the one sieging high ground.
No.
Right? It makes the team fight like way too simple for Vici Gaming.
You don't have any sources of damage other than Terrorblade. So he has to hit the building, and then he gets doomed. And you're like, well, how do we stop this? The traditional answer is you need multiple Lincolns, but the flaw in the draft, of course, they don't really have any other cores.
Yeah.
It's 2 offlaners.
I mean, you could see Vici Gaming, they are willingly giving up the map sometimes just to see if Team Spirit will push high ground again, because that is like a guaranteed team fight win for them. So they're going to smoke, push out now, and pick up a bounty rune, maybe play on the triangle, maybe bait out this mid lane.
Yeah, they should know the gems in the area. They ping out what is likely a smoke. Nice move that they have. So they have a great ward top. This is your best spot to take a fight if you're Team Spirit. Maybe just get onto the high ground and collapse around it, get vision of a TP, and just pounce, right? You have double spear, you've got egg. Theoretically, you need to get all your spells off before Vici has a chance. Force them to Stone Gaze and BKB defensively, not to force you away.
Old 11 would be a great target,
target.
It means you have to blink spear him.
And there's no Yatoro, he's in base.
Yeah, okay. So he's backed away.
He has the leveler too, man. This would...
Maybe he's trying to disguise this move even more in some way by showing his illusions now on other lanes.
Yeah. It'd be a great time to buy bots and go top. as an like this is the right play from Spirit. This is the only area of the map they have control and the potential to pounce in.
Yep.
They see PYW. They don't see PYW.
Okay. Losing that vision. Vici Gaming now pushing out as a group, and everybody from Team Spirit, or almost everybody, is out. Not quite sure why Miposhka is still here.
You need Aegis then. It's going to come down to that. This is the other way to answer Doom. If you cannot tank through the Doom and fight through it, you need to avoid it with Lincolns, and if you can't do that, you must have an extra life.
Awkward for Terrorblade though, right? Because he's a metamorphosis hero. He's something that transforms, so Aegis is typically not as good on those heroes.
The next one does have the refresher.
Okay,
so
yeah, that's true.
You get to a point where you have the answer, in a way, and they're going to smoke up. Because it's not the buyback of Old 11 that's important. It's the CD on the refresher. And Poyoyo, I mean, he's just a damage. He just deals damage. Ori, just being annoying. The CD reduction plus the increased range will make it a lot easier for him to disrupt team fights and probably find that man right there, Miposhka.
Spider legs, PYW just farming through neutral camp. They see it. They managed to get the initiation. They won it all along. That's Old 11. If they can take them down here, it's a massive win, and they do. They pop every single one of their ultimates because they say, we've got the big man. The buybacks are coming in. Vici Gaming.
Ooh.
They are going to recenter, it looks like. Team Spirit afraid of a team fight. As you say, get out. That's exactly what they're thinking, too.
11's been real sloppy. That's the second time he's just been picked off. I understand a desire to... Well, actually, I don't really understand. What was his desire there?
Yeah, he's literally the only hero that can't get caught.
Seriously. Right now. If they go for the DOTA, just boom, double Doom, at least you have some sort of counter-engage. But all of a sudden, Spirit, massive win condition. You have 7.5 minutes, kill the Doom, you're going to win the game. You just kill the Doom.
It's funny how we set this up 20 minutes ago talking about how hard the team fights were going to be later on, and we explained why. And the one way that they can win is, okay, they have to be able to stop this Doom somehow. And now it's just happened twice back-to-back. They've gotten a pick-off on Old 11, and it's allowed Team Spirit to still play actively on the map, despite being what was once 17,000 net worth lead. Now it's only 13K for Team Vici Gaming.
And they took their outpost back too. That's huge. I was concerned there for a moment, but I think they recognized that was Terror Wave, not meta. So the Doom cancels the TP. They might have had a good chance to pincer, but Vici, like, this is sort of their MO. They're going to give you that little victory. Say, okay, we messed up. We're not going to potentially commit for this game-deciding team fight without more preparation. We don't have area control. There are no D wards. We don't know where you have vision. So let's just regroup. We still trust in our ability to 5-on-5, to utilize the strengths of our draft. We have played for this timing.
All right, so Old 11's saying, I'm not going to change the way I play, but I'll itemize for it. I'll get an E on this.
Yeah. He was thinking about Arcane Blink, but realized...
man. Team Spirit, I feel like this was the game-winning moment right here.
Yeah.
Right? They forced a buyback out of Old 11, reset, play for Roshan. You're going to take a team fight that is, on many ways, uneven ground for both teams.
And
if they had won this fight, then the game's over.
And they should have known. Like, they had creeps hitting tier 3 bottom. They've just given away everything. Okay.
That is a shame.
And they're just too late. Team Spirit.
It was such a hard game for them, and they found the ways to be able to win, and it was just like, okay, this is step 1, this is step 2, and next up, step 3, the most crucial part, play for Roshan, fight around that area. If you have buybacks especially, save up and play for that. That's the last team fight that could happen. You kill the Doom, no buyback there, then they don't have that same kind of high ground defense that we were talking about before. Now, the game's just entirely reset, and we're just going to have an Aegis and a buyback on one side, so very likely, I'm not sure if Vici Gaming is really going to be that aggressive with the Aegis, knowing that Old 11 doesn't have buyback. But we'll see.
This hurts me.
Yeah, this hurts the Kyle. He's holding his hands over his head, very stressed out.
Yeah, just the window, you know, the Doom buyback.
Yeah.
Well, Vici, do they even need to... now they can just play so conservatively. Medusa will siege. Old 11 will hide in the trees. You're going to be forced to commit onto Medusa. And this is the answer, right? Split push. The TB illusions do hit pretty damn hard onto these buildings. And Vici, you're going to obtain map control.
Or he's even going for a Dagon just to try and deal with that.
Swift blink on the DOTA. I like that. You want to be able to just jump onto Team Spirit. The way you lose is the way we've seen them lose heroes. Getting picked off, getting stun, chain, CC'd from 100 to 0. So now you're just going to go. Blink, double blink in with your Doom.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
I dig it. Lotus Orb now on Collapse. That could be effective. Force 11 to Doom himself. Wouldn't get the second off.
Yeah, okay. That's a nice idea.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Do you think they are willing to give up mid lane? Oh no, they're gonna mass TP here. They're actually gonna try and catch somebody. Thinking that Vici Gaming, they're showing Ori top right now. They're gonna be able to find something. It's gonna be the Doom. Hold 11. Aeon Disc and jumps away. They didn't realize he had it. They committed even the finger to try and finish him off. Ori, meanwhile, boxed in and caught the 2 supports. Managed to get off the Supernova, but it's being nailed by Po-Yo-Yo, and they have nothing to be able to stop him. The call came in from Collapse. They're gonna mass buyback on the tide of Team Spirit right now, but they need to be able to help Yutoro. He's being chased away. Bramble catches him, but ultimately Vici Gaming can kind of reset. They're going to keep trying here. He approached the high ground. It's kind of what Yutoro wants, I think in some ways. Make use of this meta somehow. Po-Yo-Yo, out of mana now. Lion actually really good at being able to provide that. The problem is, still has the Aegis on Po-Yo-Yo.
And they're just going to keep hitting buildings.
Flicker to remove the... what's his Q called? I forgot.
Fire Spirit.
No, Terror Blades. You can dispel
Reflection,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, Reflection. There you go.
Only had it a couple years ago. It's so peaceful. They're sieging high ground. I feel like you still have time to do a podcast. Very relaxing.
Yeah. I mean, Team Spirit are just like, we don't know what to do. Okay, Coil onto 2. Looking to get the kill on Maposhka. They're going to use the Terrorize to force them to snap that. Po-Yo-Yo actually blinking in deeper. They're going to go now for Collapse. Old 11, the back line just managed to get a huge stop. A Doom onto the Terror Blade. He's inside of the fountain right now while he's coiled. There was a refresher used on Ori. Did Old 11 use his refresher?
Yeah, he double doomed them in the fountain. They're just, they're sitting there doomed.
Wait, well, when this is done...
We're going to push.
They do, I mean, there are going to be some cooldowns. The problem's going to be, it's going to be 2 lanes of barracks, and very likely, doesn't Vici Gaming just start hitting tier 4s?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say, why
no buybacks.
We don't need to hit this bottom lane of barracks, guys.
No meta.
Force Team Spirit to do something now with just this Mars Terrorblade. 40 seconds for the Axe. That's the next closest respawn they've got. Okay, their Terror Wave's going to go out. Trying to deal with this Medusa, immediately spears up Old 11. Nice play, but the Aeon Disc is back. Yutoro is immediately going to go for a second Terror Wave with the Refresher, so he's got the meta as well. The problem is that Toronto Tokyo doesn't have a way to defend himself. Po-Yo-Yo, meanwhile, is bouncing around the map with both a Flicker and his Blink, as he's now on one side of the arena, preventing Yutoro from being able to retreat back to the fountain. They're going to pick him apart, and that is it. Vici Gaming, disciplined as always. Focus on the bigger objectives, and that is how they managed to win Game 1.
That was brutal, Cab. That was just... You give a couple heroes here and there, but Team Spirit, God, it hurts because you can see the skill, you see the talent, they make the plays, they just make those critical errors that Vici won't in terms of their general strategy, their execution of the win condition. They got the Doom buyback. You have to play around Roche. They don't. Vici get it. And that siege was just, like, they didn't even, they could do that with, like, one hand, like, scrying in the head, like, oh, cast their spells on him. They double Doom.
I mean, like, what a big difference from Team Spirit when they're sieging. It's like, oh, God, the defense is so easy for Vici Gaming. And then the opposite side, when Vici Gaming is doing the sieging, it's also really easy for them. Yeah,
it hurts. And I know they're your dark horse. Team Spirit, very solid squad. You can see the potential, but
potential is there. Yeah.
If you're going to beat a squad like Vici Gaming, this is arguably top 6, top 5 team at the tournament. You've simply got to elevate your thinking, your strategy, and the way you play to win the game. And if you can't do that, you can't make it to the upper bracket.
Yeah, and that is why Team Spirit drops this Game 1. They do have hope and potential to win Game 2, but we'll have to see what actually happens with our analysts.
You gotta do the that's playing to win, baby. Because unfortunately for Team Spirit, they were just playing to just hold on to the bitter end of Vici Gaming. That's one of those losses, Jenkins, that I feel is it takes the emotions out of you. That's like one of those mind-numbing games where you're like, I feel like we're doing everything right. I feel like we're making all the right moves, and then just like one little slip up here and there, and it just spirals out of control.
Yeah, I think Kyle mentioned it, just the absolute discipline from Vici Gaming there. It was like a wall. Like, they could not fight into them. There was this one moment where Spirit ran up into the jungle, into the high ground, and they didn't have TB. I think they were missing 2 heroes. And then all of Vici was just there. They're just 5-manning, all farming together, and they lose 3 heroes, and from then on, Vici never gave them any remote chance back into the game. This is the exact fight.
Yeah, the Mars and the Axe unfortunately caught out of position. Phoenix is like, it's okay, guys. I'll help out real quick.
Oof.
And this is kind of the beginning of the end, but it still looked competitive.
Yeah, I mean, it feels good that both your analysts were right there, Tsunami. Jenkins was completely right. In that early game, they just absolutely destroyed all the lanes. I think it was like 8-0 or something, but I was also right. It's a Medusa game. How are they possibly going to pierce this front line and get back to her with all that team fight? And that's exactly what you saw. They really just had to take out Terrorblade. Once Terrorblade is done, especially in this fight right here, it's just like, okay, he's gone. Literally, it's just free pickings after that. No one else can do anything. So, Vici, they played it just like any Medusa game, man.
Doom didn't even have to use his second Doom on that one. He used the first Doom, and Jenkins, you were like, oh, okay, he's just going to refresh and immediately kill him again. But they didn't even need it. Once that Doom got the refresher, things became so much easier.
Yeah, so I think the idea behind the Doom on the Terrorblade, once he had popped the meta with the Aegis, was that number one, he's going to come back alive. He's not going to have He's not going to have the meta, so he's a lot weaker.
Sure.
Actually, I think he used the meta way, but in any case, you still have the Doom to fight afterwards if you need it. And so he was holding it. He was looking to maybe use the Doom on him there, but they just didn't have to. They had enough chain stun, chain disable, and with the Medusa having the Scotty, it's like Puyoyo's positioning was absolutely insane in every single one of these fights. He was just in there. He was frontlining, and there was nothing that Team Spirit could do to kill him. And so just what a pain. What a pain to try to play around that in team fights.
And it's not even like he had any saving supports behind him on the Medusa. It was all aggressive supports for the most part on Vici Gaming. And Team Spirit, they're the ones that had the Phoenix. And for some reason, their sieges just felt so much more difficult. Phoenix was like, I don't really know what to do. Am I supposed to be Sunring to keep my TB alive? Do I need to focus on positioning to make sure I can Supernova? Where the hell's the Snapfire? I don't want to get a little shredded down.
Yep.
And unfortunately, Team Spirit, I mean, like Kyle said at the end, this is probably a top 6 team that you're going up against with Vici Gaming, whereas Team Spirit, they're a dark horse candidate to make it farther into the playoffs at all. Right now, just hoping to make it out of the group stage.
Yeah, I mean, it was a very, very hard match to play because no matter all that chaos that they were sowing in that early game, Deuce is just chilling in the triangle.
Dude, every single time the camera was on him, he's just hitting Ancients.
Yeah, it was terrifying.
Every single time. He's killing heroes, and there's still Ancients dying to the split shot.
I mean, they were just net worth ahead the entire game. So, I mean, that's the discipline that you're going to get from one of these top teams here at this event. And, I mean, what?
Once again, another Eon Disc game. I think that's, to me, one of the big items of this tournament that we see pretty much every single role other than maybe the carry position building. People just think the Eon Disc item it's too cheap for what it does. It's like a mini Aegis. So many times in that game, we saw like Old 11 get gone on with the Doom, and then he just Eon Discs and blinks out or gets cookied out of the arena, that everything has been wasted, and they just get out and then re-engage. And that ability to re-engage, we talk about like why Warlock has fallen off. Mm-hmm. It's that idea. It's the ability that heroes have through actual hero abilities and through items like Eon Disc to get out and then go back in once the cooldowns are actually down.
Yep. That is actually one of, if not my favorite item in Dota. Typically, when playing games, people will recognize my name and then instantly try to kill me as many times as humanly possible. Sometimes getting Brown Boots Aeon Disc can win you games, because people are just going to dive your Tier 2 at 7 minutes as 5 people. And if somehow you live, it's the reinitiation, man. That's what life is about.
I mean, it's 3,000 gold. It builds from a Vitality Booster, which is some effective HP.
Sure.
And then Mana Boots. You can disassemble your Mana Boots. The only thing you're paying for is the recipe.
You telling me you're advocating for his second item Aeon Disc build? No, I'm sorry, first item Aeon Disc build.
If you're Sir Action Slux, then yes. I believe that's a great build.
who needs to cover a mini-map when you can just build first item Eon?
Exactly.
Literally, it's the only way I win games. If I can give you guys any advice for how to raise your MMR, it is to buy the Arkosh Gaming fan packs.
Of course.
Spam,
Yo had it.
annoy them as much as humanly possible, and then get first item Aeon disc so that your team can re-engage after the black hole has been spent on you. That is the only way to win MMR right now.
Tsunami, I would like to agree with this sentiment. I think that there's a reason that Poyoyo was the absolute stellar standout player in this game.
I'm inclined to agree. I see no evidence to the contrary. I see
$19.99 in the store right now.
I see the Prowler logo next to his name, and I think clearly this is the only thing that's helping.
You get it for
The
3 more
gameplay,
weeks.
that's secondary, you know? How else are you supposed to beat two of the best heroes in the patch right now? As now on the EG versus Beast Coast stream, Terrorblade and Mars just won.
Wow.
Here on the Spirit stream, Terrorblade and Mars just lost.
Well.
And so that 100% win rate for Terrorblade, no more. Unfortunate.
Yikes. Thanks a lot, guys. Like they need to feel even worse, Tsunami.
Come on.
Jesus.
Listen,
That's
they have
just
time
brutal.
to buy the Arkosh pack. It's okay.
Okay, I like where he's going with this.
There you go. Now you're
good.
speaking my language, Tsunami. That's a good pitch.
So what's the recovery for Spirit now? Because I again don't have a competitive history, Jenkins. You've been in a few games before here and there. Are losses like that the ones that have the most emotional toll on you, or is this one of those things where you're like, okay,
Are you
fine.
leaning in like a
I mean, I'm ready to hear about your emotional tolls. It's one of my most
Tell me.
interested
The
topics.
way he leaned in
I'm
was the most
intrigued.
insulting thing without actually somebody it's insulting you with words. Like the most passive-aggressive lean-in that I've ever witnessed.
What is everyone saying passive? I'm actually genuinely
Stop
interested.
gaslighting him, Jenkins.
Don't gaslight
I have
me.
watched your stream. You're
I
the
am
least
definitely.
positive person.
That is just
All right,
not
what
true.
was the question again?
Emotional losses like
Okay,
this.
all
This
right,
was like
all
a 50-minute game. You
Also,
thought you may have
you ever
had it.
had a emotional competitive loss, Jenkins?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind.
Here's the
Forget
thing.
about it then.
In this situation, I don't think you care. If your Spirit, I mean, this is Vici. Like, that was a lot.
Sure.
Like, Vici was so disciplined in the gameplay. I don't even care about their draft. It's just the fact that they were an army. They were a wall together the whole time. They secured the triangle completely. They were playing for the late game. They knew what they needed to do in the late game. We had the refresher on Doom. We had the Dark Willow terrorize. All of these things coming together felt like it was impossible for Spirit to fight. So I feel like if you're Spirit, it's just like, all right, this is one of the best teams in the tournament. We just need to do something weird, or B, play perfectly. Like you can't break up like that where you have the three-man walking up into the high ground. It's like just one moment of lack of discipline against Vici, they're gonna destroy you.
So then is the strat to go for more early game tempo? Because like I had said during the Chinese DPC, they were not really picking late game stuff. Medusa was common, but Medusa was a level 15 Medusa. Now it's level 20 Medusa. It's a later game carry.
I think that would work because, I mean, they were winning the early game, right?
Yeah.
So it's like something to actually take that advantage and turn it into something where it's not just like one single lost team fight, and then if Vici plays perfectly for the rest of the game, which they basically did, then they win. If you have a ton of towers, then it doesn't matter. You can lose like 3 or 4 fights in a row, and you're probably still fine. You don't want to, but you're probably still fine.
Right.
I would suggest, I think you're on the right track. You got to get rid of those, like, I forgot the term, so I don't know why I'm trying to say it, but, those insurance heroes, as I like to say. Medusa is an insurance hero. Sure, my whole team could die, but if we make it here, we're all right. So most of those guys are late gamers. You know, get rid of the Spectres, get rid of the Deuces, focus on that big one. But the problem with that is that a lot of people are employing that strat. That's why Broodmother and TA are banned out instantly, because that early game pressure strat is being adopted by a lot of other teams. So Spirit's got a lot to figure out here. I think that they did a really, really good job with their draft until I saw that Terrorblade. I don't know. I mean, it's good to pick what you're comfortable with, but don't corner yourself like they did. I don't know.
I think to me, it looks like Vici's not the type of team that you want to go late game against.
No,
Just given,
not at all.
I think given like they've, you know, obviously they're within a series right now. There's no way they're going to change how they play in the late game unless they like fundamentally change their draft where they just don't have a late game draft.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably more so where you want to go. It's like, okay, we won the early game, we won the lanes. Like, why not just snowball this into something? Why not get like an Ursa that can take Roche instead of the TB? Why not get a DK that can like take towers? I know some of these heroes were banned, but like there are alternatives to these heroes for taking objectives off of those one lanes and off of those one fights.
I still feel like Ursa would have been a fantastic pick in that game. And that's the kind of tempo that you really need. You need somebody that's going to be able to go up to that high ground and make some shit happen before you're anywhere near anything. I mean, guys like, I don't know, PA and Terrorblade and PL, they're just so risky. They get called out one time, they're out of that fight, boop, everything is gone. So,
I'm still hot in the opening, though. I think that the Mars Phoenix, even though it was picked into the Snapfire, I don't really think the Snapfire, like you said, it's a one-trick pony if Snapfire is just concerned about shredding the egg every single time.
But there is the other argument of like there are other heroes to pick with Mars that are good openings. There's like the Lion Mars, there's the Willow Mars, which we saw in that game, so it wasn't banned out.
Literally anyone Mars is a pretty great duo.
True. So
Pudge Mars, the rare.
Now you're speaking Jenkins language.
That is so good, actually.
What are you talking about, dude?
It's
the double
overwhelming
reposition?
damage. You got the rock combination.
You set up the arena, then you pull him out of the arena.
Yep.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah, now that's synergy.
Spear into hook.
Call that one the yo-yo. People never see it
The
coming,
yo-yo,
man.
of course. Yeah, I've heard.
Of course.
Po-yo-yo, perhaps?
Okay.
That's what
Dude,
I'm talking about.
I feel like his name, he needs to add some more yos to it. It's not Dota enough. Like, Dota players always have some long, ridiculous name, so it needs to be like Po-yo-yo-yo after he wins this event.
Do you remember when Brax got Valve to change the character length on names?
Brax,
screen. And so they actually implemented a patch to fix Brax's name.
I don't see why people don't do that. Like, Owie 2000, he should be Owie 3000, Owie 4. Your name should evolve. I mean...
Yeah.
Keep adding yos. Every time he wins a series, he should add a yo.
I think that's a dangerous game to play. We had a humble god during the beginning of Season 2, and then he proceeded to get humbled back into Ana. And so humbled that he turned into Madara at a certain point, so...
Oh my god.
It was...
overly humbled.
Overly humbled.
Jeez, Madara, that is really humbling. According to you, of course.
No, I'm just saying, can anyone even touch Madara? That's what I'm getting at right now.
Wow.
Po-yo-yo used to be Erica. Chinese players rebrand very, very frequently.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's very confusing, actually, as an NA caster.
Well, it's, Chinese are always above us on the memes, right? They're always on the forefront.
True.
For the NA crowd, while they watch, you don't want to change a lot. I'm probably going to be Sir Action Slacks for the rest of my life because, if I change it all, they'll be like, oh, who is that guy?
Unless you forget your password again, which is how your first name changed from Sir Action Slack to Sir Action Slacks hyphen.
Sure.
Very unimportant what he's saying. You're totally right that China's like super good with the memes. Like, as you can see, they're using the Arkosh pack in the
Wow,
game.
there we go again. Let's go for only $19.99. 3 more weeks. You know what? Keep making Reddit threads. Maybe Valve will have it be after TI. Make one right now. Demand that Valve keep these lines in post-TI. Get some value out of that Arkosh pack, baby.
Win a major with it.
I think he just broke like 3 Reddit rules by demanding.
Probably.
Upvote that thread. Everybody,
I will
right
send
now,
you the
I am
link.
literally demanding you to make a thread and upvote it right now. Mention Jenkins Dota for 25%
No, don't do that,
off.
please. I've had enough of
Tag
Reddit.
I
Jenkins
believe there are
Dota.
coupon code availabilities.
Jesus.
Jeez, what's wrong?
We will have a draft soon, in case you're
Please.
agonizing.
But anyway, so cool heroes that maybe people could pick, but they're not. Definitely not Sven.
Okay.
Don't do that.
Bristleback.
Bristleback. What happened to the Bristle? Have people just gotten used to playing against
I don't know. I mean, he looks god tier in every game that he's in. So I mean, people just forgot that the hero exists. I guess because there's some breaks. Like, oh no, what if they pick Hoodwink?
Oh no, not her.
Please, not.
Please, not that little squirrel. I love Dota. This giant hedgehog creature just runs by and then, oh, tiny squirrel! Get me out of here! Nah, but I mean, I think you're right. That's what's so fun about Dota is that you can have somebody that like Bristleback that's just broken, and then Puppy destroys him with Hoodwinked, and everyone's too terrified to pick him up now. But I don't know. Bristle, I hate heroes like Bristle. Bristle looks so strong unless you know the counters. And hey, Nyx Assassin. There's a hero that's a breaker.
You know why I like the Bristle?
Not
It's because it. it kind of plays into unfortunately, actually very fortunately, I hate this hero, but Bristleback is a hero who scales and does some insane shit in the late game because of the Aghanim Scepter and because of the damage talent for his ultimate. So he just hits for 900, which doesn't make any sense, by the way. But that, as well as the fact that he can end the game early. Like, he's just such an early tower pressure guy. You get the Aghanim Scepter. Like, most heroes can't compete with that timing. So it does both. Broodmother, I think, is very similar, too.
See, that's what I don't like about Timbersaw. Timbersaw is like early game Bristle, but you make it to the late game and he's like, hello. He's just like dinking around.
Well, he has a flamethrower. The flamethrower is actually pretty good in the late game. Legitimately. It's annoying for supports.
Now, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, Slacks, but Spirit in Game 2 situations have really been leaning on Tiny.
Yeah, go ahead. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure to tag that in the Reddit thread that you already made.
By the pack. Also, shout out to Tsunami.
Shout out to Tsunami there, too. Yeah, there's the Tiny. Team Spirit that's their comfort pick. Their AKA, we're about to lose, so let's pick Wind Ranger. That's Tiny for them.
Okay.
It has not been working out.
No.
But,
5 seconds remaining.
you know, it's there. Death Prophet Open. Can we talk about that? That's a strat. Don't know if it's a good one.
No, but if it is a strat, it could also be a 5-position strat.
Oh, that's...
Miposhka did run some... Now, before you go ham on it...
Okay, go ahead.
Vici Gaming were the only team in the Chinese DPC to continue picking 5 Death Prophet as well.
What a terrible team to try it against then.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
These guys are familiar with it.
Hey, here's this pocket strat we picked up. What team were we watching that was doing that? I don't remember, dude. Just pick... Oh, God. Oh, God. What do you mean it was them? Yeah, this opening is,
10 seconds remaining.
I don't want to call it here. Death Prophet support from the guys who created it, and then one of the worst win rate heroes in the current DPC major. I don't know. I mean, we talked about the strengths of Tiny, repositioning. Obviously pretty great with somebody like Death Prophet who wants to get in the middle there and then needs to get out at the right time. So pretty cool. TA early pick.
Okay, so you said low win rate. Do you know how low the win rate is? Because you're gonna love this.
12%.
Lower.
What? No
It has
way.
been picked 11 times. Tiny has a 9% win rate right now.
Incredible, incredible. Can't wait for my next ranked game for someone to first pick Tiny so I can use that little nugget.
You know what? It's about time his win rate looks bad, though. You know, he's been meta forever as a 4.
Yeah.
It's about time.
But, yeah, so TA, though, one saving grace is that they picked TA early. TA does have her standard counters, and I love that about Vici. They are like the only team that second picks TA and instantly bans like Venomancer and Viper.
Probably Batrider will come next.
Every single time.
I mean, I guess they have Nyx, which is a bat counter, but still, it makes TA's game so hard.
It is, and they're not afraid to say, like, yeah, I know we have one of the best TA players in the world, but at the same time, a counter's a counter, and we want to get rid of that. So almost every single game that they second pick TA, they insta-ban that Venomancer, and to me, that is respect.
Yeah, it looks like they've been watching the Beast Coast games, too, because that's actually how Beast Coast answered the TA, and it looked really good.
I mean, Veno's always been great. I've seen people run mid-Veno in pro games just to go against that TA and just make sure she can't do anything. So fantastic job there to make sure that they don't get cheesed out of that TA pick, but this is already just looking rough, man. You've got Nyx Assassin, which has so much viability in this patch right now. He's doing so good. You got the stomper of the patch, the mid lane. And then you're rolling up with your 9% Tiny. I mean,
it's tough. Yeah.
It's a rough life.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah,
But,
we'll see if Spirit choose to flex the Death Prophet. I would assume that they expected that Templar Assassin was going to get picked after they roll up with their 9% Tiny and Death Prophet. Because why would you not pick TA in this situation?
Sure.
They've got... What else? They've got the Phoenix availability for Spirit.
Radiant team back.
There it is, the Batrider ban. Look, full respect for these guys.
Dude.
Some heroes like TA, as I've said before, are rock, paper, scissor heroes. They are just not good. They are scissors, and if you pick rock, it's going to be really hard. Just get rid of them.
Yeah, I mean...
I love that.
There aren't really any other good counters. Like, we've seen the Razor. It hasn't really worked out. It doesn't seem like it's the same matchup that it used to be, where Razor would dumpster the TA. So Yeah, that's the thing. I think that's a lot of people really prefer this pick where you get to pick and then immediately ban 3 heroes for this exact reason. You just pick a hero that's going to be the centerpiece of your draft, and then you have 3 bans to cover it, and then you're not revealing the other heroes that are going to help enable it in the rest of the draft.
You know, I think Team Spirit doesn't really have much of a choice besides Razor, though. I mean, he's kind of all that's left. And we did see it do pretty well against the TA in at least the last Vici game I was in, but unfortunately, yeah, I guess they know how that works too, so that's a shame.
Shame.
Shame. You can pick that one up, 1999 right now. Oh, okay. Wyvern, I like.
Team Spirit has really good team fight right now. Let's see. Okay, Shadow Demon.
Well, I don't think you can make this Death Prophet a core, because anytime she's going to try to Yules herself, that's going to get insta-dispelled by this Demonic Purge.
That's true. And Yule's, Yule Scepter, Ghost Scepter, like a lot of these items the DP would normally use to survive a hero like TA is just not useful against this ST hero.
Yeah, I was about to say how Wyvern is such a great pick against TA for that insta blow up, but man, Shadow Demon, what a great counter pick.
Yeah.
She gets put in, you know, and then just whoop, that entire Winter Wyvern utility there just taken away. Oh my god, yes! The panic draft. I love this Team Spirit draft. Let's go with what we're comfortable with. Let's play Dota like it was being played a patch and a half ago and lose horrifically. You know what? I will not regret this statement. This game is over. PL is the most worthless goddamn hero in this game.
Hopefully
I'm going to go ahead
find-
and curse on a major panel.
Let's see.
PL players out there
my
every single time. Just, can you guys win the game for me? I promise I'll win, and they never do. He's going to farm like a Deusa, he's going to hit like a Tiny, and he's going to lose again.
Slex, would you like me to confirm your biases?
Confirm the bias yet again.
5 picks, 20% win rate.
Oh my goodness gracious, listen. Nahaz, if you're out there, the ghost of Nahaz, I think he died of old age last year. Nahaz, if you're out there, stats don't lie, baby. God, I hate PL. He is just going to get absolutely owned this game. I will not regret this.
All right, to be fair.
Go ahead.
To be fair.
They have a lot. They have a lot to peel off the refraction. All 4 heroes can do it.
Yeah.
So it's a tough TA game. And I think they have good early tower pressure coming from the Death Prophet ultimate, but also PL, one of the more underrated things about this hero is the fact that he can tank towers with his illusions, and that sets up for the DP to actually push. And then of course you have the Wyvern who can do the same thing with the Cold Embrace. So they have good pushing. If they have a decent early game, this is one of those drafts where they can just win based on taking towers.
There it is.
That insurance, Slacks. They got the insurance
policy right there. So the thing about the difference between these two teams is exactly what we talked about with you first pick TA, you ban out 3 of the counters. You 4th pick PL, you're out of bans. You've got 2 more maybe to do some anti-PL heroes. I mean, Spectre's great in this lineup in my opinion. A lot of ways to get out of stuff. Has ample space created with a Nyx Assassin, a TA, and a Shadow Demon roaming. And great against PL too. You know, a lot of different builds to make sure those little illusions can't do much against you. Am I wrong on that, Jenkins?
I think the nice thing about PL is that your haunt just tells you where the real one is, which is nice. Like he usually will just disengage and get away from you, and then he's like, oh, thank goodness I'm fine. Like he's 1,000 units away from you, and then Spectre just presses haunt, and it's like he already used this thing, so you kill him. So I think for that reason, but also there's other backline heroes, like even the Tiny as a support is somewhat of a backliner where Spectre illusions will just melt this hero. Wyvern of course is the same, Death Prophet's the same if she doesn't have great items.
So is Death Prophet mid now? Am I crazy?
I think probably. Well, I mean, I suppose it could be Tiny or DP, but I wouldn't want to do Wyvern DP supports. That sounds terrible.
Could be the fabled Wyvern mid. Think about it. Think about it. No.
Against TA.
I mean, I actually was
that
seeing...
sounds tough. That sounds
Yikes.
We saw some Scepter Wyverns, but they were not coming from the mid lane. And now
They're
Vici
coming from
Gaming-
Herald, unfortunately. Straight
Vici
up.
Gaming need to find an old 11 hero. Generally, I think Timbersaw could be pretty nice against a Phantom Lancer. How do you feel about dealing with the Death Prophet silence, though?
Timber's banned. He's the little guy next to the AA, I think.
Oh,
That's
yeah, you're
Timber,
right. Yeah, it's between
that's
Drow and
him.
AA.
Oh, yeah. Centaur, okay. That makes a lot of sense.
Getting a last pick Timber in any match right now, I feel like you can be against 5 Timber counters and it's probably still fine if it's the last pick. Well, maybe not 5, but...
4's okay.
Like this would Timber. You could not kill Timber if he was in this game. So let's see what other heroes are the Timber equivalent. Underlord, Tidehunter, heroes that are
We talked about
getting banned
Bristleback.
Seconds remaining.
yeah.
Still have Doom available in the pool as well.
I think Vici is lacking some do shit hero. Like they have just the Nyx to get in there and
Vici Gaming
get some action
turned
going.
in.
TA has a good mid, you know.
She needs like 2 items before she
That's
does
true.
anything
That's
though.
true.
Doom gets banned. There's still Axe availability.
Yeah, let's have a repeat of
Oh,
that.
actually, I mean, Axe versus PL seems really good, and I mean, in lane, you
10
just
seconds
completely
remaining.
melt him. But then again, PL can take off the Axe W, which is kind of annoying.
Yeah,
5
but then
Sand
he has to
remaining.
max that. Sand King's nice. Time to get creative.
Yeah, I mean, that was one of Old 11's go-tos. That and Pango, where used to be his signatures pre-Singapore.
Ooh, a Pango. That'd be pretty hype. I like that. There's so many good PL counters.
Something to lane with the Nyx. I mean, you could even go for a Leshrac off lane if you
Radiant team
want to kill the.
victory.
Hey!
Hey, God,
was-
what a great panel. Jesus, we're sniping it like crazy. Sorry,
I think
everyone else.
I think it just combos really nice with the Nyx, and it clears the PL illusions, and then you melt these supports. It's like if you cold embrace somebody in front of a Leshrac, it's like, okay, thanks. That was pretty nice.
This game is so
10
goddamn
seconds
dunzo. I'd bet 1999 right now.
That it's going to be a shame.
You're betting an entire
Shame.
Arkosh Gold supporter.
I
pack?
would bet an entire Arkosh Gaming Gold supporter pack on this game. I mean, they have every counter you could ever dream of. Winter Wyvern goes on somebody. Shadow Demon saves them. PL literally exists. Leshrac.
Now select
Kunkka?
your heroes.
When in doubt,
Oh,
Eastern
off-lane
Europe
Kunkka?
loves some Kunkka.
I think this is an offlane.
Yeah, I mean, Torrent is
It is?
okay at dealing with refraction, but it is an offlane Kunkka. Collapse is playing it.
Hell yeah, dude. Offlane Kunkka. This hero owns. This is a good offlane. He's so fast now. He got like 3 move speed buffs. He's a fast boy.
Sure.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, you know, there's some good news. Kunkka might get buffed after this series. That's hype. I mean, I'm sorry to be a defeatist here, but I mean, Vici Gaming 10,000%. I literally said these are the things not to do as Team Spirit, and then they did all of them. Literally all of them. So, gotta go with Vici on this one, fam. Sorry.
He's not asking us to make predictions. I
I'm
hope you
just
don't.
making, I don't
You're
give a
just
shit.
doing it.
Can you at least...
I will not regret this.
Fine, if I'm not doing predictions, Jenkins, what would you like to talk about to close the panel out?
I would like to talk about the best supporter pack.
No, we're
possible.
not
Oh,
talking
here
about
we
that. I want
go.
you to talk about something relevant to this game, this
Okay, here we go.
series.
Okay. I think Vici Gaming has drafted them into a corner. I like that Team Spirit's doing something weird, though.
Okay.
I like that
What's the incentive for an offlane Kunkka here?
It's fun.
Great.
It's really fun.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, okay, I will say X marks the spot is fantastic against Spectre. That is very nice to be able to re-catch when she's trying to escape sometimes. They have a lot of control, but I'm not going to dig them out of this grave. I already put them in the grave and fucking put the tombstone in, so that's Jenkins' job.
I mean, it's a free lane. I think Kunkka will do fine against some like Spectre Nyx or Spectre Shadow Demon. Like Kunkka, he'll basically be a mid Kunkka from the offlane because the lane is so easy.
Okay, so you're not expecting... Because I've been seeing some magic Kunkka builds. I've seen, like, Octarine, Scepter, Shard builds.
Yeah, he'll probably do that, but I think that's what you should do on mid Kunkka anyway.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think that's just better.
Okay, well, I guess that's up for Spirit to decide because their back's against the wall. It's game number 2. They really don't want to have to go down another series, but we'll have to find out with Capitalist and Kyle how it all goes down.
I don't know, Kyle. Would you take Sir Action Slax's bet of 1999 on Vici Gaming? You believe in Team Spirit enough?
I think Vici's gonna win. I don't think it's quite as I don't think it's 10,000%. But Sir Action Slack's new panelist, so not surprised that he's making wildly inaccurate predictions.
Whoa, 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 whoa! He's just following your lead, Kyle, of making grandiose claims.
I
guarantee.
Guarantee's not the same. There's no way to give 10,000%. This was it's a pet peeve of my entire family. You can't give 110%. It's not possible. It's 100%. That's the most you can give.
Ugh. You guys sound boring. 101. Give 101%.
Doesn't exist. Can't do it. There's no way to possibly give more than you can possibly give.
Okay.
You got to give it your all. That's fine. Keep it 100. That's also fine. Either way, I like the Vici lineup. Nyx Assassin, along with Lion, are my two favorite supports to pair with the TA. You're an assassin style. You burst the hell out of people. They provide vision and tons of lockdown. You carapace stun into your impale. TA gets a meld strike, couple hits off. That hero's dead.
Yeah, yesterday, PSG and I got to watch Tim's Nyx Assassin put in some work. Managed to get TNC a victory in a much-needed series against a team that I don't remember. God.
Cap.
It's been so many games and such. We did have a Kunkka, though, that did happen at this tournament. That was Execration versus Team Secret, and it was one of the games that Execration won. So, Vici Gaming, of course. Thank you, JJ, helping me out there. Toss over. This is an awkward fight. They actually missed the impale on the disruption, but they landed the split earth. The problem is they've missed too many of their abilities, and PYW is very, very, very out of range.
He's going to die.
Toss. Is he in range of the toss? He gets alley-oop back on over to Mira. Well, okay, Mira actually alley-ooped himself, apparently. He somehow got the last
off
hit.
the backboard. It can work.
Okay.
Style points.
Yeah, why? I was pretty sure they were just going to give Utoro that kill.
Yeah, wow, this is weird. So I was about to make the comment that I really like having Lesh with a hero like Nyx Assassin in the lane. They complement each other. We saw Viper Nyx from Beast Coast earlier. They actually keep it top, which is a bit awkward. This top lane for Team Spirit's pretty damn powerful. But SD Lesh also really annoying for a Wyvern to play against. If you catch a disruption into a stun edict combo, really not much you can do about it. You're a very slow-moving hero.
Do you think that Shadow Demon... So either way, they've got to set up for Leshrac, right? Either support. So it's probably more about the top lane. What do you think makes Nyx Assassin better in this situation than Shadow Demon?
I guess a better laner. You know, you look at the base regen, 4.9. That's pretty good, and it does make sense. Offlane Kunkka, you can already see the damage from the Tidebringer starting to stack up. Nyx can just sort of chill through it. Shadow Demon, not the same luxury. And DY in general, just tankier. 4 base armor.
We might see some clutch spike carapaces.
Yeah.
Maybe return the Tidebringer. Maybe it's going to stop the AoE damage of the Tiny. Also secures range creeps.
Yep.
That's something Shadow Demon doesn't do very easily for you. The only way he does it was with Shadow Poison, which typically will push the lane in.
Yep.
So
that's a good point. And SD also better at stacking. So he can stack camps much easier for the TA by playing bottom.
Yeah, that's true. Just from the river, he can go ahead and throw one up on the hard camp, which you can see is actually blocked by Team Spirit. They threw a sentry up there, so.
I really love watching
farther up, JJ, we're talking about the hard camp in the triangle. PYW won't be able to stack that. Yeah, super cool. Man, I love it when teams are like have a really thought out idea, and then like the other team makes the same read and counterplays it.
I've been just kind of enjoying myself, even in the green room watching games. I feel like everybody's starting to say smart stuff. I don't know if it's a major, if people working harder, or what's probably more likely, the games are just high quality. So the things you notice, there's just more to notice because there's a lot more thought going into everything from the draft, the item decisions, the playing, the warding. Really impressed with warding thus far this tournament. That's for sure. Poyo
successfully get the toss on Poyo. Takes a lot of damage. DY doing what he can to try and like direct attention onto himself rather than the Spectre.
Oh, Level missed the stun though. Utoro is the guy to watch. So the panel is correct when, well, slacks. Leshrac really counters PL. But if you get over leveled, you get over farmed, you have a hood, diffusal up, Leshrac's mana pool is his biggest limiter. And when you're off lane, you're not going to have that super easy time outscaling a Phantom Lancer. It's not like you're going to get bots, Sanj Kaya, and like race him to the next item. You'll probably be behind net worth. And suddenly, you tank a few hits from illusions at the onset of a fight, you don't have the mana to keep Nova going. And if you look at Vici, they really don't have any other tools for dealing with illusions. It's all on old 11, so this bottom lane, definitely the one to watch.
It is actually really interesting. Like, momentum-wise, this Phantom Lancer can beat all 3 of these cores, right?
Yes.
Like, if a Spectre gets a Radiance, okay, things are going to be a little bit annoying. If TA is the one being on the offensive and is allowed to get Sideblade hits in, that's going to be good. But if Phantom Lancer is feeling good about the game, if he's in their faces, Spectre gets burned out of mana, she's useless. Templar Assassin, Refraction is just going to be ripped apart very quickly. And as you said, you eloquently explained how Phantom Lancer can be good against Leshrac, so.
Yeah, but trouble is, Cap, they're losing their lanes, specifically mid, which is somewhat TA favored. I think a good Death Prophet can trade, but the Templars just... This hero right now, it feels a lot like Lesh SF did at TI5, where if you can play TA incredibly well, you can just straight up win games by yourself, especially now that it's more geared for the late game than it was, oh, Blink Deso, get Roche, try to end.
Nice toss back there from Mira. I've actually got him. X marks the spot, so he's not going to get away so easily. Torrented up as well. They have the Avalanche on top of that, and DY was like, I can't help you.
Nope.
So I'm going to pull instead. I've never seen that before. He just abandoned the Spectre.
Yeah, who's actually getting owned. This last pick, Kunkka, is pretty sick in retrospect. And it's also really effective. Now, Kunkka Rum is one of the coolest abilities to game plan around because it also will affect the PL's ability to keep the Illusion Army going. You then last, like Leshrac damage, TA damage, Spectre damage, right? You have to just live through that initial onslaught, the Haunt, the Meld Strike, and 11's mana pool. If you can do that, you'll get that extended fight duration, which really benefits heroes like DP and PL. In fact, Kunkka DP is one of my favorites because if you just live through the burst, you're going to be able to drain yourself back up. And if you can't kill DP but you're trying to, you're taking bonus damage because the Exorcism DPS is based on distance. If you're in melee range, you're getting crushed.
Yeah. Interesting move there. They used the Glyph earlier from Vici Gaming when they dove the Winter Wyvern. But Old 11 also did get rather low, and he TP'd all the way back to base. So he actually is going to spend a little time not getting any experience. The big win, obviously, this entire laning phase is still that mid lane. Ori is dumpstering right now.
How is our Ancient stacks looking like at the moment? Only 2
stack? Okay.
It's all right.
And probably nothing on the hard camp because it was blocked earlier. 1 stack there from Team Spirit.
Yeah. Looks like, yep, it'll be the Dragonlance build. Might go for the Deso straight after. I think that that's ideal. You just go for the right-click DPS. Blink's tough in this game. Once again, Vici, they might just play for late game. Bo's ready.
Go for him. Bo ready to go. Poyo-Yo going to be pulled back into his doom, as they had plenty of nukes still to go. Winter Wyvern does die in the bottom lane, but Team Spirit overall are going to be happy with the exchange. It looks like Yutaro is now going to take over the mid lane while the Death Prophet is away, pushing out top.
A very interesting game so far. Very technical. I like this move top by Toronto Tokyo. You want to use Exorcism off cooldown when possible. Collapse is dominating top, so kill this tier 1, but it's going to be really important now for Spirit that they don't let the Spectre just freeze the lane top and start playing this lane plus jungle. You want to keep somebody here. Probably Collapse, but realistically, they're going to need maybe Miposhka even to move into the area. You don't want to just leave Spectre top lane after a tower. It doesn't give you enough gold.
Watch that kill again on Miposhka, something Slang's talking about. Leshrac really good against Winter Wyvern. For this reason, Shadow Demon is also very good because the stationary target just means free stacks of poison. Miposhka gonna try and use the Arctic Burn to fly away, but DY's on the other side of things. They chain stun him, bring him down. Now they'll take this tier 1 tower, evening things up. Team Spirits doesn't really look like they're gonna get much done while this period of time. Toronto Tokyo doesn't have Exorcism to pressure mid tower.
Yeah. And, you know, I think a lot of people still associate Eastern Europe with really high aggression, but
yeah.
we watched 12 weeks of it over this year so far, and I can tell you, they quite possibly the most passive region, but they don't want to be passive here.
Oh, the Templar Assassin trap. It's keeping Mira out of range from being able to get the toss, and so much so that Ori's actually willing to turn around, but he doesn't expect the torrent that comes out from Collapse. A Shadow Demon disruption. Not able to get X marks the spot. Vici Gaming counterplaying the catch from Team Spirit very nicely.
Yeah, really well done as well. to get the offensive disruption. Shadow Demon's all about, are you thinking save? Are you thinking save by doing so aggressively? Prevents the X into boat combo that Collapse I'm certain was going to utilize. If he defensive disrupts there, well, there you're just set up now for Mira and Toronto Tokyo to pound more damage in.
Now, it's not the Spectre in this top lane. Instead, it's DY because, you know, he's been giving solo lane to the Spectre for a lot of time, so he needs some experience to catch back up, get that Vendetta where he can be a useful support again. So he's just kind of hanging out here. Team Spirit still looking for an opening on to Ori here. Gonna lead off with a Splinter Blast, slowing him down as much as possible. Refraction has been burned out with Torrent that lands. They've got him. He's dead. And now Team Spirit can try and hit this mid tower and see what Vici Gaming does to respond.
Shout out to Collapse right now with this last pick. Hunky is keeping his team in the game. Straight up. All the kills are mostly thanks to him. And that Torrent has to land to secure that. Really well done by Ori. He's keeping that defensive trap to prevent Mira from ever getting in range to land the toss. But that's a heavy rotation, and this is how you capitalize on it. Mira set up, has a ward, looking to toss back. You have boat, Exorcism ready, get this mid tower. Haunt is prepared, however. Vici will likely defend this, but it's going to be tricky. Toss back.
Toss over just on top of the creep wave. Couldn't get much closer. The Haunt is going to go down. It looks like they're going to try and surround Toronto Tokyo, but he's saved by the Cold Embrace. Now the boat is there as well. His Spirit siphoning up. Can he get out of here? DY's on the other side of things. Doesn't even need to use the Vendetta. Instead, tries to find the opening onto Mapochka. He managed to dodge that impale, though. He's going to be pulled back into the Earth Spike, saved by the disruption of the Shadow Demon. Now it's Vici Gaming's turn to have the advantage and try and pressure this tier 1 mid tower. Maybe Old 11's just going to keep running at Heroes. He's going after Mira right now. Does get an Avalanche. The rest of the team is pursuing Yutoro. He's going to dodge. Split Earth not going down, but a big hit from Collapse finishes off Old 11. Now Ori's in so deep, they all followed Old 11 here, but it looks like it's a disastrous team fight. He doesn't have refraction. The toss back in from Mira's going to be able to get the Nyx Assassin as well, almost catching PYW. He does a defensive disruption and runs himself away, and I don't think Team Spirit should worry about this kill whatsoever. They just won a massive team fight, defended their tower. Let's hit mid.
Yeah, that was very overeager from Vici Gaming. I love the defense. They got Exo, they got Boat, they got the big kill on Death Prophet. You don't need to pursue. I don't even think Spectre teleported into that fight. Did you see him? Because he was top as they were dying under tower. There's really just no way to win a fight. Team Spirit, way too powerful in the mid game. Really nice turnaround. Again, Collapse is just on point. Yatoro appearing at the exact right time. And yeah, as you can see, they leave the wards middle and now look to invade enemy jungle. They saw the Spectre. Did he TP here or does he still have one available? No, he went top.
He went top
during the fight. So he may have TP'd in just like, actually, I don't want to be here. And what can he do? He is a level 8 Spectre. Mira's here. Oh, hello.
Runs right into him and Collapse is ready to go with the follow-up. Pulling him back into the boats. They do have Mapochka here as well. DY intercepts and does hit an impale, and they're going to turn around and see if they can kill Mapochka. Winter's Curse actually pulls the Spectre on top of DY, gives Mapochka a chance at being able to get away, slows down Old 11, knowing that that is the most damage he has to fear right now. And Team Spirit, as they start getting closer to their Tier 1 tower, Vici Gaming realize that they don't want to overextend for a second time.
That
Boots of travel?
That is very greedy.
Yeah.
Now, it's nice in this style of game, though. You're playing against Spectre, so it's, again, that concept of the enemy hero as a core that can play globally. So you kind of want one yourself. And Boots of Travel is really nice on the DP. You get to post-haste movement real quick.
And when they have Boat and Cold Embrace, Death Prophet isn't as reliant on having like a Yule Scepter or something, right?
Yeah, it's a really good point. Their main issue, I think they also learned from the previous game, is going to be killing Vici Gaming, finding the right fights, because they once again have a big edge throughout the mid game, but the concern will be how will they scale as we progress into the 30, 40, 50-minute parts.
Yeah. By the way, I mentioned earlier Radiance on Spectre. We haven't seen that build in a while. It's good against Phantom Lancer. Is it good enough to actually build that item?
I think you're going to lean on your Lesh.
Yeah, okay. That makes sense to me.
If you're ahead, you could consider it, but there's just better items.
Yeah.
And the problem you have here is Radiance actually plays into the way Team Spirit want to play because of the run buff. Oh, nice.
Disruption time so that the X marks the spot would wear out.
Also want to note, Collapse is doing really well. You'll notice every offensive X into boat, he hesitates because he is ensuring that if he's stunned, disrupted, disabled, the boat still lands on the natural X pullback.
He actually, a toss forward allows them to be able to get an offensive X onto Old 11, and this time around, PYW can do nothing about it. Mira, a great tiny play from him, and he showed up pretty fast. Did he have a blink dagger as well on the tiny?
No.
No. He's
Tiny airlines.
Yeah. Speed boosting around with his tranquil boots.
Yeah, that's how Vici made it to this land. Spirit recognizing that, everybody here at the WePlay AniMajor does have tickets to utilize to your heart's content. And I love maxing out the X early. This hero makes your life so much easier. Back in my days, whenever we had Disruptor or Kunkka, you felt good because you knew if we have a lead, if we can go kill people, we actually can because of that catch plus reach combination. Plenty of stuns, plenty of team fight. Now with the vessel up.
DUI, that wasn't effective at all. It just bounces back, Tidebringer hits, and Kunkka's already maxed HP already, but, it was funny.
You got to keep in mind, though, look at the way that the top net worth hero on Spirit is itemized. It was kind of similar in the last game. Collapse is owning, but he's got a hood and a vessel. He is not playing for himself. He's playing for his team. That means that this gold lead is not going to naturally increase. They've got to punch Vici in the mouth and take gold from them and their towers if they want to take this game.
See if they can do it. PYW's going to be targeted here. Don't Torrent follow up there. Just pulls him back, and that's it. Phantom Lancer poking at this Leshrac with a Splinter Blast and Avalanche. A lot of damage being thrown at Old 11, but not enough to force Vici Gaming to back down from this Tier 2 defense. The longer they hold this area, the more farm that the Spectre and the Templar Assassin are getting during this time.
They're doing a really nice job. Vici's just kind of camping it. 2-course farm. Team Spirit, they recognize the situation they're in. They're trying to get both the objective and a team fight here, but it's going to be tricky. You can see the way Vici are positioning. It's DY up front, trying to bait spells. If you overcommit, he's going to carapace everybody, still get saved. The mass TP over the middle.
Collapse is being left behind by the rest of his allies who are TPing away right now. Now he does hit the X Torrents combination onto DY, but an offensive. Oh, the split earth misses off of the disruption here. They're going to go for Collapse, but he's pretty tanky. He can manage to get off the boat as well. The Winter's Curse placed onto the Leshrac right now. Meanwhile, Poyo is going straight for the back line. He's already killed Maposhka. DY being targeted by the X. Actually, Spike Carapace is going to be good for him, but Vici Gaming are being overrun by Toronto Tokyo and the Phantom Lancer. The instances of damage have burned out the Templar Assassin. Now Poyo's going to be up next on the chopping block, but he managed to fade away into the trees before any disables could follow him. Still, though, they can keep the pressure on this Tier 2. Old 11's going to go back in, though.
Nice.
Trying to go for a Toronto Tokyo, but he backed away just the right time. Now the Avalanche over the top, and these two are dead. Poyo, he has to make a solo escape now, as Toronto Tokyo's exorcism will fade away, so Team Spirit are going to back off. They can't go for this Tier 2 any longer.
And that fight could have been so much worse for Vici Gaming. That were just not the positioning they wanted to engage. You saw TA teleport in on the outpost, and suddenly he's pincered as Mira and the Toronto Tokyo DP come from the right. PL comes from the left. He's 100% dead. They go on Collapse, who has itemized 2 tank. Oh, the Torrent.
Poyo hasn't been respecting the fact that they can reset off of X marks the spot. Yotaro has come back full health, full mana because of the X marks the spot TP play. Now Poyo has to get into the trees, cuts one down. Are they going to realize where he went? They spot him for a moment. He's going back to the left-hand side. He has it dagger up in 3 seconds time, but he cannot hide from Team Spirit.
Big kill from Spirit. They need these. Now get tower, get outpost control. They want to get the XP lead ticking forwards for them. Ori still just farming his triangle.
Once again, I feel like, Kyle, we are seeing the fact that this team does indeed have potential. I see much of the community flaming Team Spirit, saying, oh, these guys are garbage and they're not doing the right plays. But yeah, they're a younger team. The upside you should be looking at is the fact that they can, against somebody like Vici Gaming, put themselves in a winning position, even if they didn't figure out what the winning play was.
Their draft was the big issue in how they could close out that last game. They were effectively always going to lose at a certain point once Doom came online. This game, they've rectified the big issue. They couldn't catch anybody. You've got Collapse going off, top net worth for his team. The PL of Yotaro is already online, and he doesn't have that built-in 2-minute delay on his ability to take fights. He's a Phantom Lancer. He has Defusal, he has Yasha, he is always online, and it allows him to play way more offensively, and he's much more likely to join his team.
Now, what is the big hump that they're going to be experiencing in this game? Because they're up by 3K, but they did that before. Vici Gaming, they've been farming a lot on this Templar Assassin, a lot on this Spectre. What is Vici Gaming's time where they're all of a sudden going to feel really strong in team fights?
It's really just the items coming online. You get to a point as Vici where you have just an oppressive amount of damage output. Suddenly the rum buff is mostly negated because all 3 of your cores are pumping out DPS. An early Roche would be quite nice, and they just pop an Arcane Rune ultimate. That's perfect. Very easy to take this down now.
There's nothing specific Team Spirit need to be on the lookout for. They just need to keep this tempo up. Okay.
Taking Roche is big. If you give away a free Roche to the TA team, you're going to certainly be in trouble. But the key to watch is old 11's net worth. Because right now, I believe he's also going for the Greaves build. That's what we've seen is very common on this. Nope, he'll go Hood into Yules. He's not scaling that well. And look at the mana pool. 800 is not nearly enough. You start taking some Diffusal Blade shots. If you're unable to cast Ultimate in fights, well, your team is unable to kill PL Illusions.
Do you feel like he's realizing that and that's why he's going Yules rather than Greaves?
It's quite possible.
He's being a little bit greedier for himself. Nice toss back. PYW is going to be left behind here. Vici Gaming were kind of setting up on the high ground here, but nobody of Team Spirit took the bait. Instead, they marched forward through the lane, found PYW, and the rest of Vici Gaming will back out to mid lane.
Yeah, still 3K. 20 minutes in. Power Rune's about to spawn. Yatoro with the Aegis. And they have the outpost control. That's key. That is what you want to keep if you're Team Spirit. Cut top, cut mid. They have a nice ward as well in that top lane. And this is the dream. You want to deny as much jungle as possible to Vici Gaming, always be controlling at least 2 lanes. And thanks to the BOTs on Death Prophet, that frees up Toronto Tokyo. He saw enough heroes. He's now confident. I'll go shove bottom a couple times, and I can then TP in. Next Exorcism, we're going to go get some towers.
What towers do you want to see them get? Do you feel like this mid-tier 2 is the target, or the 2 towers at bottom?
This is the dream, really. You kind of threaten both. DP bottom, your team close enough to join, and you can kind of shove out mid. Maybe they're thinking about coming for you bottom, and do they have an inkling that there's a TA here?
I don't know. They don't have any vision necessarily. Oh, well, then now they certainly know. Ori may not realize. Mira, is he going to throw the avalanche? Oh, that would have been a big pickup for Team Spirit. Fortunately for Vici Gaming, they get their carry out alive. And Ori will farm the other side of the map, and it looks like they may have to just give up on these bottom 2 towers.
It's a big risk he takes, but it does a couple important things. One, acquires information. Yeah, all of Team Spirit's down here 20 seconds before they hit the tier 1, and delays them by a creep wave. So that is likely enough to get them top tier 1, and it also gives his team some space along the map. A big risk taken.
Nice aggressive ward is going to be able to find DY here. Well, Ori actually spotted still near the tier 2. I thought Vici Gaming was just going to play the opposite side of the map, but with DY getting caught here and Ori chases back farther and farther in this bottom lane, it seems they're going to be rather split. It is getting a lot of information, as you said. They did take that tier 1 top lane. Old 11 managed to accomplish that with the Diabolic Edict.
Now there's a Manta up on the Spectre. Toronto Tokyo. Again, the bots paying off. I love the choice to go Shivas here. You need armor, and more importantly, you just need to have vision. So much easier to find the Nyx when he's ulted through, poking his head in the trees. Shadow Demon as well, much easier to catch with the silence. So far, anybody's game, but you can see pretty substantive XP advantage for Team Spirit. Now a Halberd.
Oh, yeah.
They're feeling all right. And Mira as well, I think, standout so far. I feel like almost all their kills have started with either a tossback or a collapse X find.
Yeah.
Yatoro pretending to be an illusion.
Yeah, he really is. It's just that's 2 mantle illusions. Nope, surprise. Fortunately, DY, he was a little bit aware that something sneaky could be happening here. Instead, he's going to try and run down PYW. He goes for the TP out, but it's not going to be good enough. The damage comes too quick and too fast. The courier gets swallowed up in the chaos as well. Poyoyo loses that.
That is, see, Terrorblade can't do that, Cap. That is so cool from Yatoro, the cheeky little play. Pretends to be the Manta, finds a quick kill. Not who he intended, but that also sets up for the tower now. Bottom tier 2 as well.
Yeah, they're hitting both of these towers at the same time.
That damage output we were fearful of from Vici Gaming side, it's just not here yet. They really don't have the items to deal with Team Spirit's team fight, because ultimately, they need to get to a point where they're able to take fights that last 20 seconds or longer. Right now, you can't do that. Like, your team will die far too fast. You don't have the tools to deal with the Phantom Lancer just yet, and really, Team Spirit, a 5K Goldie, but it feels like a lot more. They just need to find some more kills.
Maposhka, He TP'd early to this top lane to see if he can catch somebody. Now, Ori is sitting here invisible. They don't know about him, but they will manage to find DY. Yeah, he dies. And TP's away. Okay. Vici Gaming, do you feel like, how confident do you think they are in this game state? Of like, because in some ways it feels like they're just waiting for Team Spirit to try and go high.
I don't think they're confident. I think they're getting owned right now, Cap. You see that Team Spirit, they understand what their win condition is. He's going for a heart, already has the recipe up on the PL, and his other cores, they recognize the rule of Dota right now on this patch. Control the armor, control the game. Shiva's on the Death Prophet, AC next item on the Kunkka. You hit a timing with the PL's heart, all of a sudden, nobody dies. He switched it up. He's not going, he's going Bloodstone, even better. He just got the casual plate mail so that he would stay alive. Either way, has armor, that's the key.
Old 11 caught, trying to sneak some pushes here in the bottom lane. Team Spirit collapse on him pretty quickly. Again, it feels like the combination between Mira and Collapse moving around the map and just, like literally just walking across the map constantly, and then the boots of travel from the Death Prophet, the pressure is always there in at least 2 lanes. Occasionally they'll show up to top lane or something like that, but right now it feels like Vici Gaming only control a third of the map at any given time.
Oh, quick pause.
Disconnect here from Toronto Tokyo as we are waiting on the next Roshan spawn, which could be starting out in 2 minutes time. So
a lot of good shards in this game, Cap. DPs turned Spirit Siphon into an armor drain as well for plus armor to yourself.
Oh, you must be a big fan of that one.
I am. PL, the bonus illusions you get from your Lance, also quite nice.
Good way of, I know BSJ was a big fan of that one. When he was analyzing Pale Horse, and he said that it was a really good way of being able to deal with Leshrac, specifically because you don't want to get close to him, but you do want to burn him out of mana, so you just constantly throw spears at him from a distance. Poshka being stalked right now is going to be blown up very quickly.
There's that combo we mentioned in the pregame, but that's the first time we've seen it used. Team Spirit have done so well maintaining map control that Poshka, I don't think, has been picked off a single time. Died in the lane, sure, but not like that.
Yeah.
The itemization kind of tells the story of the way these teams see their win conditions, because you see the Nyx Assassin, he's going for an Aghanim's Rush because their game plan on Vici will be to defend their high ground. That's really their only game plan, because taking fights outside the base just isn't possible.
Now, our lovely observer, JJ, did show that he was thinking about that like 15 minutes ago. Do you feel like this was always in some way a game plan? The Vici Gaming's like, we have the ultimate late game, so we're going to force them, like game 1, to try and go high ground against us.
Yeah, I think it's the right move. The Manta Scotty will be a huge timing. The Scotty, of course, most importantly, the change in the patch was that it decreases regen and healing. Very effective against a hero like Death Prophet, especially persisting to prevent even Cold Embrace heal from coming out.
Yeah, sure.
Even more effective than the Spirit Vessel. Mirror with the Yules and the Blink. It's just so much easier for Team Spirit. Like, you can see they're playing with more confidence because they can actually kill people. They've got 2 guys running around the map. Yatoro holding hands saying, just stun something for me. I'm ready. I want to hit it in the face. And he's going to have a heart momentarily. And you know, Roche spawning or could spawn in 30 seconds. I think that next Aegis timing, you gotta go. You gotta think about high ground.
They found Poyo, which actually pulls Toronto Tokyo up to this top lane. They're calling for his help. Do they have anything to stop him? Oh
my
no!
God.
They had a Yules, Avalanche, Toss.
Oh
all of it was on cooldown. That could have been a massive win.
Oh man.
Oh god.
But the presence of mind, though, from Poyo, you know, he doesn't accept death. He doesn't open the shop. He thinks to himself, yeah, you wait. I just counted. You've got no bullets left. I'm out of here. Well done. That was it. They had a heart timing. That was a kill into a potential high ground push, and instead, it's just space for the TA.
Yeah. You're saying that was a Dirty Harry moment?
Indeed.
Is that 5 bullets or 6? And instead, the guy's just like, no, it was definitely 6. DY. He's been doing as much as he can to be able to scout the movements of Team Spirit, but Spirit has done a good job of punishing him and killing him as much as they can.
I don't know how to feel about the Bloodstone. Yeah. You're already playing into a team that's going to stop your healing whenever possible. We'll see. I like it a lot earlier. Never a bad item by any means, but we'll see.
I mean, it definitely feels like if he just armored up, I don't think the Leshrac is really going to threaten him enough.
I'm trying to think. I guess it's just for the spell amp, the spell lifesteal amp specifically. So I'm trying to think, what's the benefit over an Octarine? Kind of makes sense. Like the CDR isn't as important because it's not about having your ult up more often. It's about being more powerful during the duration of the critical team fight.
When you're spirit siphoning somebody, you want to be able to heal as much as possible in that short period of time.
Yeah, I can dig it. And they're not necessarily going to go high ground just yet. The Aegis is going to come up.
Should be focused on the Roshan objective. Old 11 is going to try and sneak this mid-tier 1 tower. But they still had a glyph. And so even if he does take that tower, it just means they're going to get another refresh on the glyph soon.
I got respect to Vici Gaming, though. Like, they're getting owned, but they're so crafty. They've somehow kept this game close.
Yes.
Like, Spirit, they have a lead, but it's not a crippling lead. This is just an edge. They've got an item advantage. Now they're getting a free Aegis. The Shard likely to go to the PL or the Death Prop. I think just PL. It carries naturally. If you ever play pubs with BSJ, you'll know he wants everything. Yeah. He's like, I'll take the cheese and the refresher just in case.
It's very annoying.
And they do.
He'll graciously give away the cheese to Toronto Tokyo.
Have something.
I will agree that the Phantom Lancer shard is really good. I have actually very rarely seen people pick up the shard on Death Prophet, but
it takes too long. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Phantom Lancer, like a lot of these shards, the better ones have an immediate effect. Like, okay, my cooldown's lower, the stun lasts longer, the spell's easier to hit. I have an extra spell. Death Prophets, if you're jumped at the start of a fight, that shard does nothing for you.
Yeah.
It's more about, okay, we started and then you targeted me. That's unlikely if Death Prophet gets initiation. Oh, by the way, they're up the high ground. They got Aegis. This is the timing we're talking about. Is AC ready on the Kunkka just yet? Because if so, this is huge for them.
At the same time, you know what is ready? The Aghanim Scepter of the Nyx Assassin. So,
no.
Hold on.
And the shard.
He's got
and the shard.
He's got the shard. I was just going to say, Leshrac Splitter shard and being able to have DY with an Aghanim Scepter
so
burrowed here. How can they confidently stay on a high ground against this?
It's like you're playing against Zerg, who masked lurkers. And there's nothing you can do about it. It's a great timing.
Oh, they found Bo2.
Oh.
They're so busy focused on this high ground defense that they weren't even thinking about the idea that Team Spirit could go somewhere else. He's trying to pop the haunt to be able to get out of here, but he goes back to the tier 3. No, he says, that's not where I want to be. He goes back to the triangle again, but Yutaro was ready for him.
That was so sick. Actually, they knew which one was real because Mira's tree throw was midair as he started leaping around, and it's got a tracking meter on it, so it was following him as he bounced around. That's dope. 60 seconds, Team Spirit near a 10k gold lead. Even if he buys back, there's no haunt. There's really no damage on the side of Vici, just some annoyance.
Yeah. A lot of damage initially. Disruption, the Split Earth is going to land. It's going to land immediately afterwards. Oh, God. The Impale follow-up is another Split Earth going to be able to land. He doppelgangers away before the third one could hit him. All right, so they're going to have to just keep on grooving back and forth.
Yeah, they buffed that less shard, too. It used to just be the bonus 2 stuns. Now it's 3. It's 50. You can overlap it. So, yeah, sieging high ground, definitely easier said than done, but that is a huge pick-off. That's what's kept Spirit in this game, what extended their last game. Oh, hang on, maybe a toss back, he gets it.
On Old 11, just like last time, their key to breaking the high ground is being able to catch Old 11 first. He's going to Yules, but he goes straight into a torrent to disruption, but he's on a sliver of HP. He's going to come back and immediately die. And now Team Spirit can feel good about hitting
another toss back.
Let's going to go back. Another toss back, this time out of PYW. And Ori's been pulled back with the X. He's going to be forced to pop his BKB. DY burrows down. Looks for the right kind of impale here, but nobody of Team Spirit really looks that low. Yutaro with the Shadow Demon stuff on him is going to look a little squishy, but he's the one who has the Aegis. They're going to try and jump on a DY now. But Mira, they lined up for a big impale to call Embrace, but it's not enough to be able to save Mira. They may just be able to finish off the Nyx Assassin. He finally dies. The boat's going to come in off of the winner's curse, so the damage is dodged, but the important part is Team Spirit, they want out of here. Toronto Tokyo trying to back away, but they're actually going to turn now as PYW blinks in aggressively. A beautiful silence is going to stop any effect from Vici Gaming. The Spectre, the Leshrac, they can't do anything. PYW caught with no buyback now.
You even see 4 Zoomers finally make it to a major as the voice lines start to get spammed. Team Spirit, they're feeling themselves. Shadow Demon, no buyback. They still have Aegis.
Yeah,
why not just push?
They're going to go for Poyoyo now. Yutoro taking a bit of damage, but they got to be careful of Ori, who's trying to line up the shots right now. Poyoyo is the one in turn tanking the damage. Old 11, he feels a little bit more confident seeing Yutoro's a bit low. Starts throwing more split earths around. As the split earth initially was around the barracks face away, they can start focusing on the buildings. But now DY is here. Unable to burrow just yet, but Team Spirit realizing, okay, we're getting a little ahead of ourselves here. We still got some times, a little bit of time on the Aegis. We could reset and go almost immediately once he comes back. Oh, Mira actually needs to deal with bottom first.
Their main issue is PL ran out of mana. And the Lance spam, especially with the Shard, is what's making these fights so much easier for Spirit, because it zones a portion of Vici Gaming's lineup. It's very difficult to threaten them if you can't poke them first. And Collapse is getting a little frisky here. He's also low on mana. Has the AC complete. That's a butterfly on the TA. Huge moment here, because obviously those illusions are going to do significantly less to them now as we check out the whole team's composition. Blink on PYW, we saw that almost pay dividends in the previous fight, but really, Old 11 just not farmed enough to deal with the PL. You have a BKB on the TA, but I think next fight, you're just going to see Miposhka Wyvern Ultima in the face, because ultimately, if you can prevent that and then just start throwing illusions at him, you're going to be A-okay. They have the AC, they have the Shivas. At this point, Team Spirit is just so goddamn tanky. I don't know how Vici win a fight unless they can drag it out or take it under their own tier force.
It's definitely going to be around Ori, because he now has the Butterfly, so that'll help him deal with the Phantom Lancer quite a lot. But it doesn't do anything about the fact that there are all these other instances of damage, most notably the Death Prophet, which can't actually miss with the Exorcism.
Exactly, which is why I'd actually take back what I said, because he might have just needed more damage. He might have had to rush a Daedalus or something, because to your point, if he gets up close and personal with Toronto Tokyo, he's just going to take full damage anyway. He's still going to get drained, and it's going to be troubling. And the Spectre just really not dealing too much damage. Check out the net worth. He's still behind his enemy offlaner.
Yeah, I mean, Blade Mail, Scotty, that's not a damage build whatsoever. And Templar Assassin, not trying to go a bigger burst of damage. This Phantom Lancer, it just really does look like they're tickling him. The only thing that really seems to have an impact for a moment is that Soul Catcher.
Yeah, the way that you get back into this as Vici is to bait Poyoyo, because ultimately he deals more damage in this game when the enemy team hits him. He's got a Blade Mail, he's got evasion, he's got the Titan Sliver. He wants to be targeted, and then theoretically he buys back and haunts. Suddenly, what is a good fight for Spirit turns into them getting wiped. The gold advantage disappears, and Vici have a little more time on their hands to get their cores online. The true damage dealer is the man right there sitting melded.
They know where he is.
They do. They're pinging him. They know exactly where he is. They have that great high ground.
If they start moving right now, Ori,
you gotta hustle.
You kind of want to bait the Death Prophet here, but he's going to show himself now. And Mira, he's there. He managed to get the Yule Scepter, the Avalanche follow-up. The BKB immediately going down from Ori. Turns around, tries to go for Miposhka. They're going to pop the Haunt here. They pop the Winter's Curse to keep him in place. Miposhka being targeted by Poyoyo. PYW is also going to be trying to help out in this team fight, but Ori, he's the one in trouble. They do save him with a disruption, but he's about half health, and Nate just gets burned away as soon as he comes back in. Now Poyoyo on the retreat, but he knows where he is. They've got the Spirit Drain. Do they have the Disabled? They've got no stun to see him. He's away. He TP's out successfully, but the important kill was definitely Ori. He does not have buyback.
That is huge. And they just get further and further ahead here. I think that was the best move from Vici there, because their TA was dead. You saw Miposhka, he was just holding his ultimate, because at that point, there was no escape for the TA other than a teleport. So he Wyvern ultis as the BKB gets low enough duration that they'll have a follow-up disable as it ends. The toss while he was still under the duration, there's no way he's able to blink out. No DP ult, but 50 seconds on TA. You could probably force buyback here, but you got to be cautious. Death Prophet still mid, has TP to get back in. There's no buyback.
See if they can catch the Shadow Demon, but he does manage to time the disruption there. With Vici Gaming already set up, honestly, this bottom lane push is looking a little suspect. But if they're already set up there, you can start poking at some of the other lanes, and that's what Yutoro has been doing all game long with his illusions. A heart now complete for the Death Prophet. Talking about tanky.
Got to wait for it to come on the courier, though, so maybe want to be a little more passive just yet.
And Roshan, potential spawn time in 50 seconds. So there's a lot of reason for Team Spirit not to force this right now.
They've done their job. Vici is 5 men in base.
But they may try it anyway. Oh, Mira! He gets caught by the spike carapace, the AoE. They disrupt the Nyx assassin. They try and go for the toss over. Toronto Tokyo's in. Mira's gonna get burned out by Poyo. Oh dear, Team Spirit, what have you stumbled into? Never mind, Yotaro actually just wiped the deck there with Leshrak's corpse. He destroyed him. Spirit after Spirit members are trying to get out of this base right now, but they're continuing to be impaled up on the retreat. They trade heroes here, the Tiny for the Leshrak.
Okay, you take that. That was very nerve-wracking. Yeah, Old 11, just 2 games in a row, has been caught grossly out of position. There's just, he wasn't tossed in, he was just in, and yeah, it gets absolutely melted by the combined damage output of the entire Team Spirit lineup. Mira almost got that toss back. I don't actually know how he got Oh no, sorry. When burrowed, AoE carapace. So
AoE damage.
He actually caught the stun before he could get the toss back. Otherwise, that's an easier fight. But you can see Team Spirit still very much in control of this game. Like, they just have double, if not more, of the damage, plus better tools for damage mitigation. The Rum, the Cold Embrace, the BKB Piercing, Wyvern Ultimate.
Yeah.
And Old 11 just simply cannot stay alive in these engagements. If you look at his itemization, actually, it's even more unforgivable that he was so close to the battle, because he has an Aether Lens, a Yules, and an Eternal Shroud. He has no armor whatsoever. His job right now is to spam stun from max range.
Yeah. He is there. High ground defense, to be sure.
Now has a Minotaur Horn, though. That's quite nice for survivability and the built-in BKB.
It's not filled up. Does this Shadow Demon have a shard? I remember they changed something about that. Oh, no, he doesn't. Okay. Oh, it's just the gem? Is that what that signal is?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I knew there was something about the shard that was weird, but no, he doesn't have that. He's got a gem. Got to be able to control the vision in this game. The problem's going to be is Roshan's up soon. Team Spirit are very set up for it.
Indeed they are. And the Arcane Rune. It's this time Team Spirit with the Rune luck. Very nice for Toronto Tokyo. And Collapse is going for Suraction Slack's favorite build. Pirate style, torrents everywhere. Once you get the Aghanims up and running, and suddenly Vici Gaming, yeah, you can't just safely chill in the backlines.
Yeah, I mean, this entire battle for this high ground is all about controlling the area with this Nyx Assassin burrow and the Split Earth constantly going off. That it seems Collapse is going to try and battle that with some AoE control of his own.
And I love the build on Yotaro. You don't want to buy MKB on Phantom Lancer. It's just no stats, not really something for illusion-based cores. The Bloodthorn, however, all hits. Not only hit, but have the built-in crit. Very good at killing TA post BKB, and more importantly, against heroes like Nyx, like Shadow Demon, you get the silence off and a purge, they just feed you, and oh, whoa!
Or he runs right into the full team of Team Spirit. Now DY is already burrowed up and will manage to get impaled. They're going to turn around and try and go for Toronto Tokyo. The Bloodstone's healing him up, but he's not going to be able to live through it. The Scotty does his job. Yutaro's got to get back. They don't have a buyback onto this Death Prophet. Mira is also going to die here. Now a Yule Scepter set up onto the Kunkei. Tries to flicker to the side. Fortunately, a Winter's Curse gets him away. In fact, Old 11, Force Staff to try and get him away from Poyo. He will live thanks to that Force Staff. The Spectre will not kill his offlaner. But a win for Vici Gaming, the first team fight win in a while. And guess what? It's around a Roshan spawn. Team Spirit, are they going to go for a defense here without a Death Prophet buyback? They already bought back on Mira, so they're definitely thinking about it. Oh God, Kyle, this could be really bad for Team Spirit, or it could be really good. This could be the moment they actually finish off the game, or Vici Gaming, maybe they're just gonna get a free Aegis, a free Aghanim Scepter, and a free cheese. Jumping forward, Ori, looking to see if there's anyone still lingering around the pit here. They aren't.
They give the Ags to the Spectre, I believe. He's going to have the Shadow Step now. Or no, he passed it off.
Yeah,
they're going to give it to Shadow Demon.
Shadow Demon, there we go. Oh. That's a value Aghanim Scepter. So now we're going to have multiple of the demonic purges. And that is a ton of damage.
Oh man, one mistake, the gold lead for Spirit evaporate. This is the downside of the heart on the Death Prophet. You're deceptively tanky. It's just banking on more of that health regen, which is negated by the Scotty. You don't have a BKB. They didn't get any of the spells off to keep him alive, so he just straight up goes from near 5,000 HP to 0. Man, huge impact of tier 3 neutral items, tier 4 rather. The Nyx Assassin is dead in Burrow. because he's silenced, but he has Stormcrafter, lifts himself up in the air, comes back down, free casting, and gets huge stuns off. Otherwise, maybe that turns around, but realistically, once Toronto Tokyo dies, the fight's over. He's got to be a little more cautious now and probably regretting that he did not buy a BKB.
Yeah. They've got a second butterfly now, by the way, on the Spectre this time around. So they are continuing to acknowledge the fact that Yotaro doesn't have the best way to be able to deal with this evasion. Yep. If they've got BKBs or if they've got some sort of dispel.
And Toronto, he realized his mistake. He's queued up the BKB.
Yeah.
And that's the thing.
Yeah.
It's too much investment into the same concept. Lifesteal regeneration, not just straight up, I have a BKB. I'm strong. You can't.
It's 42 minutes in. Like, this is a classic core problem. They always want to delay their BKBs, right? But like, how much more do you want to delay it?
And this is where things get spooky because Spectre in the late game, he's approaching that coveted level 25 for the extra dispersion percentage.
Yeah.
It's going to get real spooky. 3 purges from a Shadow Demon now with Blink and Aether Lens.
Yeah, it comes with a break mechanic as well.
Exactly.
So if they manage to find the real Phantom Lancer, it doesn't matter if you doppelganger, like you know which one is real, and he's not creating more illusions.
It's a really good point. It's no
refraction
Tidebringer
instances as well.
Yeah.
I mean, we're always saying that Templar Assassin is more of a carry hero because of that talent.
Dude, it's wild to me because Spirit played 40 minutes of near flawless Dota. They're up 26-11, and the entire gold lead evaporated in a single mistake that Vici was ready to capitalize on.
Yep, they have been playing this game just waiting for that mistake, right? They've been bleeding out bit by bit, but they've been waiting for that one blunder from the more amateur team here. It's the seasoned veterans now looking to be able to take over the map. They're the ones looking to pressure things as they have 2 minutes left on that Aegis. They're going to spot Collapse here next to the tier 2 and quickly flickers at the realization that he may end up getting caught.
Even more reason going high ground was impossible. That Psyblade distance is just nuts, and it's so easy to hit them at long range on PL illusions.
You can see Old 11 burning through the trees and setting up a battlefield that if Team Spirit was to fight around this tier 2, it would already be a hazardous battlefield to play into. They know where DY is, I believe, because they hit him with the Torrent earlier, so I'm pretty sure Collapse knows what's going on. They're going to drop the Sentry onto him. Any way to be able to pull him out, he quickly deals with the Silence. The Bloodthorn not going to last onto him.
Yeah, he has double cleanse for himself now. It's just so...
What's the other one he's got?
Yules.
Oh, right. So Yules and... Yeah, you're right.
It's such a cool way Vici have played this game. And Spirit, they're still in this. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But it's about finding Vici, not as individuals, but as a team off guard. And that's just so tough because Vici, they understand their formation. They recognize the situation that they're in. They haven't even used this Aegis, right? It was just about denying it to Team Spirit.
You see Old 11 bottom, and they're thinking about taking this fight here, but they still have 35 seconds left on the Aegis. There's no reason to force it just right now. But Yotaro, he's going to run into Old 11. Can he actually kill him? Yule's Scepter is going to be able to get rid of that Bloodthorn. He's going to go for the splitter. Stun Old 11. He's going to pop the cheese and run himself away. Because the Haunt has gone off for the Spectre. Now Mira's going to try and connect over here. Poyo is actually going for the wrong illusions. They popped up the Shadow Demon Purge on him too. Yotaro, Old 11's realizing now, guys, we got the wrong one, but I'm in trouble. He's dead. Old 11's now gone. DY stuck here and next to the Death Prophet, but they got to be able to help this Phantom Lancer. He's been broken right now by the Shadow Demon Purge. He's got the poison on him as well. He's going to be able to doppelganger. He's going to be okay. Poyo is realizing this is not a fight they can win anymore. They've lost Old 11. They've lost DY. And now they're just looking for the full-out retreat. Team Spirit in hot pursuit right now. Seeing if they can get vision of anybody. Stop and teleport. Catch somebody with X marks the spot. They spotted Ori, who's farming an Ether camp right now. And Collapse. Does he see him? Torrent on the high ground. Not quite there, but he spots him right as the pause happens. He sees him on the low ground.
Oh my God, this is a pretty timely pause. Puppy would be proud if he's still here.
What is Ori trying to get that he wants so badly? He's willing to risk this.
He's got buyback. Maybe
he's trying to get his Swift Blink.
Yeah.
And presumably a buyback on top of that, but
he's very likely dead here. And he doesn't see this. If you switch to Dire Vision, they have no idea.
Where's our Winter Wyvern? I can't tell which one is the Winter Wyvern when they're both disconnected. Okay, so he's the closer one of the two.
With Q already active.
Yeah, like, very likely, or he's going to try and BKB TP out, and the Winter's Curse is going to stop him.
Indeed, and man, again, Yatoro, like creating chaos, making plays. What a sick illusion bait.
Yes.
If that's him, he dies. I think they lose that fight.
Okay.
Collapse.
Let's see how Ori responds here.
Does he have Blink active? No, he doesn't.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't.
Dude, he might just be
he
dead.
could BKB, he could Hurricane Pike BKB TP out. That would definitely get him away from the Winter Wyvern.
And Team Spirit's like, hey, we're ready.
Yeah, man, they know.
Very fortuitous.
Let's see what Ori does here. Does he have the sixth sense to realize what's potentially about to happen? Okay, X-Merge spot. He goes ahead, BKBs, and is just on the run long enough to be able to get his blink off. Okay, so no Winter's Curse, but the BKB's going to wear off. Mira's going to spot him for a second, throws out the Avalanche, catching him, melted away, Yules himself instead. Oh no! X marks the spot though, is still there. The disruption to be able to deny the pullback, they get it. The Torrent Storm is going around though. They all do manage to get the blink away in time. Ooh. Ori. Oh man. A terrorizing run that does manage to land him to the safety of his base, but now that base is being assaulted by Team Spirit. Glyph being utilized here. Mira finding the opening, managed to get the toss back onto Ori. Ori once again trying to go for staff away. They pull him back almost immediately, disrupted, denied by the silence. Death Prophet, Toronto, Tokyo reads what the Shadow Demon wanted to do there. Now, in order to hold, Vici Gaming may have to use a buyback.
To just back off. Is Roche up? No, it's not. Do you have DP Ultimate? I believe you do. Team Spirit, you could think about more here.
What are you going to do here, Kyle? Do you play? Because it's risk, right? If they do this, the buyback happens from TA, they may lose this next Roshan.
It's a really risky part of the game here. You have 30 seconds, and then all your core's abilities come back up. Maybe you look to pressure then, but it is a great point, because if you blow too many spells, you lose a fight, then lose Aegis Refresher. That is real tough. But they're strong. They all level 25 talents on all 3 cores.
Big wave is coming in. Toronto Tokyo has been poking at that tier 3. The split earth, though, is causing a bit of problems. Toro is going to finish off the tier 3 now. Goes ahead. Or gets up. Old 11. Immediately uses the Minotaur Horn to dispense with that one. DY just keeping the disables going. They do manage to find Mira here. Old 11's pumping out a little bit of damage onto him, but he doesn't have the follow-up. The rest of the heroes are dealing with this Torrent Storm. The nasty one from Collapse. They're going to have the buyback now to Ori. This is the time where Team Spirit need to be able to disengage, but can they get away? Vici Gaming, they pop the Haunt. Poyo jumped towards them, but immediately backed away. Vici Gaming are not going to try and pursue. They have been forced to buy back without catching anything for it.
It really heads up Team Spirit. I love how they just play bundled together when the Haunt comes out. It limits the Desolate damage, but in addition, it provides the Spectre no room to actually get on top of the Winter Wyvern. They're playing right on top of Maposhka, keeping him safe. And once Haunt down, now no TA buyback. If Roche, it's right there. No, wait. Man, I keep getting confused. 1 minute. In 1 minute, it would be right there.
It'll be there. Which is enough time, perhaps, for Vici Gaming to get their Haunt back. 90 seconds left on that one. Mira is going to run into Ori here. Spots a few heroes. They blink in or blink out. He blinks in. He blinks in. It goes for PYW. Managed to get the disable there, but unfortunately the bow combination wasn't on point. He managed to disruption dodge much of that. Now they're going to go ahead and purge up this Kunkka. Yutoro blinks straight to the back line and takes away PYW with a huge Winter's Curse on top of the 2 cores. They're going to be able to, with a toss in as well onto Old 11. They're all around this area. Yutoro's trying to do what damage he can. The supports are already being able to buy back. Old 11 dealing with these illusions as best he can, burning them out while Poyo deals with Death Prophet. He's going to start pumping some damage into him as best as possible while he's perched up. They're slowed down to a crawl. Toronto Tokyo cannot get away. He pops a BKB, pops a Bloodstone. Yutoro once again deal with the backline. He's going for PYW, but does manage to get the save onto Ori. DY holding his ground alongside this split earth is going to allow Vici Gaming to retreat, but retreat and retreat and retreat. That's all they're doing. They're not winning fights against Spirit.
Yeah, it's so tough, though, for either one of these teams to actually find kills. Vici, you just don't really have a draft built for raw damage output. Kinda is, I suppose, but like Spirit's just so goddamn tanky. All of their heroes, including their tiny, are like 3,000 HP plus. Toronto Tokyo's in like 5,000 HP, 40 armor. He just simply doesn't die.
Team Spirit, they went straight to the Roshan pit right away. Vici Gaming will be here in time thanks to a smoke, but they may not be able to get in the pit in time. Old11 throws out the splitter, but the Aegis has already been grabbed. Utoro grabs that one. Old11, oh, he dies in an instant. Surrounded by so many illusions. He does have a buyback, though. Stormcrafter from TY is trying to get out of the pit as best as possible. Double force staff gives him up to the high ground. Burrows down deep, holds his ground. Mira's going to spot him, though. Toss him up in the air. Very likely he's to die here as the buyback's happening. Vici Gaming still going to take this one. They've broken up the Death Prophet. Poyo still trying to focus on Toronto Tokyo as best as possible. Cold Embrace buys some more time. He's actually healing through all this damage from Poyo. He just cannot seem to do enough while Ori is being kited this entire time. Yotoro's dealing with the supports. The cores of Vici Gaming are being kited. Toronto Tokyo is just constantly moving about. He's now pops his BKB and Poyo has to give up on this. He's lost the two supports to a dieback and he's just trying to live for himself. Ori shows himself, actually goes for a shot, but goes for a BKB teleport out, realizing with no Winter Wyvern, he can always pull that off. The problem is, Old11 diebacked as well.
He's dead for 2 minutes, Cap. Like, this is your window. Team Spirit, they have everything they want. They still have Aegis. They are incredibly strong. Oh, Spectre kills Mira, but immediately he'll buy back. They might catch the Spectre.
Spectre is going to be caught here.
He has no buyback.
By Toronto Tokyo. He doesn't have a way to deal with all these disables one after another. They're going to control this Spectre. Manta actually gets over to the trees. Can he get away from this one? Another dagger's coming up. Amira denies him with the Yule Scepter into a torrent. Coming out from Collapse. Combos from Team Spirit are on point. That's a dieback from the Spectre. And now Ori against the world is seemingly not possible. They call it GG. Team Spirit take a second draw in this group stage. The first one against EG, and now a second one against Vici Gaming.
Man, they worked real hard for this one. They earned it 36-14, 50 total kills. You can see a little excited. They took down a team that many people look at as a favorite in this group stage. And that, they did it. They picked stuns. They picked catch. They had incredible team fight, and that end fight, Vici, I think they just felt threatened. If you give up Ags, Refresher, suddenly they're probably just going to overwhelm you within the base. So they take a fight that is real tough for them. Yotoro, real fast fingers, picks up everything in the pit. Old11 diebacks, and they just didn't have damage. They kept trying to kill Toronto Tokyo. He's either running away from them or just standing there and tanking through it.
So at this point, I feel like Team Spirit has faced what are some of the expected tougher teams of the groups, right? They faced up against Evil Geniuses, the major grand finalists, right? They faced up against Nigma, who looks really good from the wild cards. They lost that one 2-0, but now they faced up against Vici Gaming, also looking good from the wild cards, managed to force out a draw. I mean, if they can continue to get better off of this exposure to other international teams, Team Spirit is definitely going to be a hot one to look out for.
Yeah, I don't want to play them in a qualifier, that's for sure. And if anybody's watching this nervous, it's probably Ace Monaco Gambit and Na'Vi, because you kind of you're sitting there, you're rooting for Team Spirit to get it together, because Lord knows I do not want to play this team in a qualifier. They've looked great. Keep in mind, they're new. It's the first major for, I believe, all of their players. They have not had this kind of experience, and they're definitely growing as they play more and more games on the international stage.
All right, well, they managed to force a draw against Vici Gaming. Let's head back to the analyst.